Stanley Cup coverage on the Deuce tomorrow. The Capitals and the Senators game 4. Washington leads 2-1. The game will be in Ottawa. Following that game, also on the Deuce, we will join in progress the Dallas-Edmonton game 4. Both of those tomorrow night starting at 7 on the Deuce.
Scotty Bowman not only is continuing to roll his 4 lines, but he's continuing to get all 6 defensemen on the ice, including Slava Fetisov and Dmitry Mironov on this pairing. Lidstrom and Murphy obviously logging more ice time than anybody. You got Bob Rouse back there and Jamie McCowan, so all Red Wings on deck right now.
Face-off will be taken back in behind the net. Cleared out of there. Fetisov again. He's going to go back and give chase. And will be touched up and whistled there. So both of the games being played tonight are in overtime. 13th and 14th overtime game. Buffalo, Montreal, playing at the Molson Center in Montreal, tied 4-4. Here in St. Louis, we're tied at 2-2.
Joel Quenneville still has not had much problem getting the defense pair out there that he wants against Sergei Fedorov. It has been Chris Pronger and McAlpine the entire game, except for one shift. That was the shift that Fedorov line scored a goal on. Holmstrom finished it off. Fedorov got an assist, so did Kozlov.
Face-off near side. Detroit trying to hold it in the offensive zone. Fedorov got it from Tomas Holmstrom. Fedorov shot deflected. There, Antonin tied up by Kozlov. Good job, Kozlov. Fedorov's in front. Holmstrom shot, save. Rebound, Fedorov hit Grant Fuhr. He covers.
Oh, look at Holmstrom go down. He was poking away at Grant Fuhr, and Chris Pronger came in. Looked like the refs were coming off the turnbuckle onto Holmstrom. And I don't even know who it was that grabbed him from behind, but did he ever back slam him? Wow. And in the middle of it all, Craig Conroy got involved. The Red Wings just about ended this hockey game. Holmstrom made the right play. He had Fedorov in front, but he had a guy to pass through, and he decided to come out and try to jam it home himself. Why not? Smart guy, Grant Fuhr. He wants to conserve energy right now, and getting involved in something like that scrum in front is not a wise thing to do.
Especially with 2 bad knees.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anyone landing on a knee.
Every major joint in Grant Fuhr's body has undergone surgery at one point. Both shoulders, both knees.
Big chances for Detroit. 2-on-1 it ended up.
And that was Holmstrom attempt. Fedorov threw it back out. See Holmstrom poking away at it. Watch Pronger come in from the right. Boom! Down on the back of his head. Here it is from our goal cam view. It's a good... Oh, Fuhr almost hooked that into the net with the knob of his stick. Boy. There you can see this, if this is wide enough. Boy, first he got hit from behind by Atchinham, and then Pronger, and then who was it that grabs him here? Oh, it's McAlpine that just back slams him to the ice. That's a pretty tough shift for Holmstrom, and that's why he's got the guts to get in there and be a guy in the trenches, and why Scotty Bowman loves him so much. Think he cares? Watch him next shift. He'll probably be more ornery in front of Grant Fuhr.
Well, we're going to have an interesting 4-on-4 here in this overtime. Holmstrom and McAlpine both get roughing minors at 4:09 of the OT. So a 4-on-4 situation. Game tied at 2-2. This series is tied at 1 apiece. These teams playing here tonight, and we'll be right back here Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern time for game 4. Somebody's going to have a 2-1 edge when we come back here.
Unless we're still here.
Unless we're still here Thursday. The Red Wings opening up with those 5 overtime shots. 4-on-4 situation. Steve Yzerman asked again. Move in and take the face-off against Blair Atchinham, and he won it again. Larry Murphy couldn't get it to sit for the shot. Yzerman, Larionov, shot blocked. Yzerman got it back. Yzerman turns to the middle, got knocked down. Conroy overskated. Down he goes. Good play by Larry Murphy, taking Conroy down. Larionov, Lidstrom being pressured, dropped it in the middle, cleared back out by Conroy. Lidstrom and Murphy back along the blue. Detroit getting back on side. Cautiousness, the word of the moment. Yzerman to the red. Little hook from Conroy, moved it in, dished it off. Bouncing puck, Lidstrom. Conroy went by him. Lidstrom's got it on the back skate against the wall. Conroy couldn't get it out of the zone. Marianov held it in. Yzerman holds it in. Back to the corner goes Bergevin. Long shift for both of these quartets. Picked up by Hull, who gets out on the ice now. Detroit changing as well. Hull with a little room, winds it up. He wants that big blast. Thomas Holmstrom got a piece. Back to the point. Can it be Pronger? Oh, deflected into the seats. You saw a script off Broadway. Not quite finished.
No, he just took a little too long to get the shot away. Meanwhile, Dan Maruelli, our ref, continues to be in charge out there.
At your feet, Jamie! Oh, chaser! No, no, not even close. Yeah, you know what you do? You're smarter than that. You know what? Don't go, ow. Tough guy in this league, and you're going, ow, because he bumps you with...
Well, you're not going to get anything by Dan Maruelli in this contest. He's done a masterful job of complete control of the game.
Duchesne shot it wide. Kozlov picks it up. Kozlov coming, 3 back. Hull in the back check. Kozlov down the middle, batted away. Back over to Fedorov. Fedorov's shot. That's deflected by Pronger. Up and over the glass.
Chris Pronger's got such a long reach. Sergei Fedorov just wanted to snap off a quick wrist shot, but there's that matchup that has been consistent, all but for the one shift. And when you try to get a shot off on Chris Pronger, you got to think so far ahead. I mean, you can't take as much time against Pronger as you can against another defenseman because he's got such a long reach. Fedorov just wants to snap it. Oh, there's the long stick by Pronger. 17 of 18 even strength shifts. Chris Pronger has been on the ice against Sergei Fedorov. And I will guarantee you, as long as Joel Quenneville has his way, and Scotty Bowman hasn't tried to keep it any different. He hasn't tried to keep Fedorov away from Pronger. Guarantee you that Pronger will be out there for every shift from now until this game ends against Fedorov.
Here, Turgeon will take the draw. 10 of 25 on the face-off. Turgeon against Fedorov. Picked up by Turgeon to Hull. Dropped it for Turgeon, a little behind Duchesne, who had to come back to get it. Shot in by Hull. Wide of Osgood. Tisov flips it off to the corner. Still 4-on-4 for another 20 seconds. McCarty and Holmstrom the goals for Detroit. MacInnis both goals for St. Louis, including the tying goal of 1905. They get it over. Turgeon for the game winner. Osgood the save. Chris Osgood tested by Turgeon, who was open at the end of a shift. The other way, Kozlov looking for help. Tomas Holmstrom cutting. Deflects back to the point and out of the zone. 5-on-5. Jamie McCown back to get it. Rouse will flip it into the corner. Grant Fuhr will glove it and hang on with Joey Kocur moving in. 5.5 minutes into this OT.
You just don't want to make a mistake out there. If you have the puck taken away from you in the neutral zone, it is a mistake. Sergei Fedorov was running into the linesman, and Brett Hull was able to strip the puck from him, and he just about offside, but legal onside. Turgeon couldn't get in any closer because Mironov took the puck away from him, or was going to take the puck away from him or get a stick on it. Did Mironov ever finish Turgeon off in the corner? Turgeon slid into the boards on his knees, and Mironov didn't let up on him. He just buried him.
Terry Yake will take this face-off to the right of Grant Fuhr. Chris Draper for the Detroit Red Wings. Yake won the draw. Got it back to Gill. Maltby on Gill. Draper the intercept. Backs it up the other way. Big takedown by MacInnis on Maltby. In return, they spear each other. Comes back out to center. Campbell sends that one in wide of the net. Osgood holds it up. Lidstrom back. Lidstrom around the near side. Joey Kocur to Murphy. Larry Murphy shuts it down, waiting for help. Found it in the middle. Draper in the zone. Draper the shot. Deflected wide off a defenseman's stick. Kocur the big hit on Terry Yake. Puck up on the dasher. Yake and Kocur do battle. MacInnis comes away with it. MacInnis feathers that one near side. Draper was there again. MacInnis all over Draper. Joey Kocur, the shot. Save made. Grant Fuhr short side. Draper the rebound. Draper pinned up by Gill. Taken away by Maltby. Maltby's got Kocur in the middle. Can't get it there in time, though. Leaves it back in behind the net. Red Wings will try and change right here.
That's that fourth line for Detroit we talked about earlier in the game. They might not score a lot of goals, but they've got you in your end most of the time when they're out there.
Dmitri shot wide. Shanahan to Larionov. He's got LaPointe on the right. Goes to the middle. Larry Murphy, the D, moves it into LaPointe, decides better of it, and flips it deep. Duchesne on the tie-up in the corner. Puck kicked away, Larionov, Shanahan, centered around to the point, Jamie McCown. McCown trying to wrist it in, went to the high slot. Bouncing puck, kicked away. Turgeon, a nice one-arm clear to Hull. Hull with Turgeon the trailer. Turgeon's pass wide off Jamie McCown's stick. Players are testing now how far Merriwelli's willing to let this thing go. More holding and hooking going on and hauling guys down. Here's Shanahan onside. Martin LaPointe shot, save, Dior. Rebound, Shanahan trying to set it up right side, couldn't do it. Igor Larionov tried to bat it out of the air, but it went by his stick. Back up by Rouse. Rouse sends it in. McCarty. Both teams changing on a fly. Detroit getting players out. McCarty found himself alone, couldn't control it. Courtnall cleared it up and out. Offside.
Boy, the Detroit Red Wings have just turned it up a notch. Their forecheck has just been awesome here in overtime. And that wears defense down. Boy, I'll tell you, the St. Louis defense will wear down sooner or later unless they can start getting this territorial thing evened out a bit. That tricked Grant Fuhr because it was deflected on the way to him. And then Shanahan tried for Larionov. It was a bouncing puck. That's when you want to have a blade that's about 8 inches thick, wide, 20 inches long. Of course, it'd be illegal and you'd be in the penalty box, but still, you could dream about it.
Oh. Larionov over there trying to bat that down, just could not get to it. Shots are 7-1 in favor of Detroit here in the overtime. Again, Darren McCarty. McCarty centering for Yzerman, but it busted behind the net off Terry Yates' stick. Pronger flips it. There's McCarty. McCarty tied up. McAlpine. McCarty center. Gilchrist pinned off the play by Pronger. Picked up again. Maltby. Yzerman rather spun around. One arm by Pronger over to McAlpine. McAlpine up over Fetisov's head to center. Mironov was backing him up. This is what Scotty Bowman loves of his team. Puck control in the offensive zone. They're doing it here in the overtime, but it's still OT. They haven't scored. Flipped ahead and in. Dimitri. Osgood back. Osgood bounces it around Dimitri to the near side. Lidstrom moved it out through center. Intercepted there. Played back. Kelleran in. Osgood holds it up. Lidstrom back to help. Nicholas Lidstrom. Tip pass away. Fedorov into the middle. Down they go on the ice. Gill went down to smother the puck. Did. Couldn't move it though. Lidstrom picks it up. Lidstrom coming in. Nobody on his right. Shot. Holmstrom. Save made by Grant Fuhr. Well, somebody's going to win this game and have a 2-1 edge on Thursday night when we come back here. 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll continue our coverage of this Red Wings Blues series right here in St. Louis. Hope you'll join us 7:30 Eastern on the Deuce. Also Thursday night at 7:30, the Buffalo Sabres. Game 4 against the Montreal Canadiens. Someone's going to have a 2-1 lead there. They're in overtime tonight, tied at 4.
Some huge shots in St. Louis tonight. McGuire hit a 527-foot home run to the upper deck over the little baseball game that's going on here. And Al MacInnis launched one from center. Might not have been 527 feet, but in hockey terms, it was a 527-footer.
All the way from the red line with less than a minute to play and tied this game up. Al MacInnis. Red Wings dominating here. Those numbers speak the truth. The 8-1 in overtime. Fedorov face off against Conroy. Conroy won it to Pronger behind the net. Kelleran left it in the middle. Here comes Conroy. Conroy hit the post. It didn't go in. Did it go in? Light is not on. The light is not on. Dan Merriwelli has not signaled a goal. They will have to go upstairs. In fact, upstairs will do it themselves. St. Louis is celebrating, believing it went in. The light did not come on. Merriwelli did not signal a goal.
I don't think it went in. It went off the post, and it might have gone off a second post. I don't know, unless Chris Osgood nudged it back over. But it wasn't going in on its own. If it crossed the line, Chris Osgood had to help it.
It must cross the line entirely.
Watch this. Great shot by Conroy. Off the one post. Watch it crawl along the line. Off the other post. And then Chris Osgood made contact with it. The question is, did he push it? No. No, came loose and bounced out the other side. I don't think that went in.
That did not go in.
No.
It must cross the line in its entirety. Now upstairs, this is an automatic review. He doesn't have to ask for it. They will review all of the angles they have. That's the video replay booth upstairs. The fans are trying to make it so by standing and cheering.
And I think the players are trying to do that too. The St. Louis Blues were going for the preemptive close and just going to go to the celebration right away.
Jim Clem is the video goal judge. Jim Christensen is the supervisor on hand here from the NHL.
What a great move and a great shot by Conroy just to get this off. There it is, rolling off the post. No, not even close, because he couldn't have scored it out. The only way Chris Osgood could have put that in is if he'd hit it with his glove, and it bounced under him immediately and then squirted out the other way. We've got goal cams too. Here it is from our goal cam. Look at Chris Osgood's right leg. See how it's back? You know, he gave him a lot of room on the long side. He didn't look like he was square at all.
See, the puck's loose behind him, so.
And he doesn't know where it is either, I don't think.
No, but the whistle had already blown at that point.
Yeah.
But that puck did not, I don't think that crossed the line. There's Conroy, who wanted to celebrate the game winner. They've made their decision, obviously, if called down. This game goes on, and a good call.
Yes, it's the right call. Well, what a 24 hours it would have been for Craig Conroy. Craig Conroy just made the finals of the Selke Trophy yesterday and came within 2 to 3 inches of being an incredible hero in the city of St. Louis here in Game 3. But not to be.
So everybody take a deep breath. We go on. 10-11 remaining here in the overtime, first overtime period. That will be one you'll see forever. Dan Maruelli explaining to the players why that was not a goal.
Can you hear me? Puck never crossed the goal line. Face-offs in the corner.
Simple as that.
Yeah, that's pretty cut and dry right there. And he is absolutely right. Whether he saw it or not, the guys upstairs gave him good advice. Still can't get over the shot by Conroy, but I still don't think Osgood was really square to him. You know, it looked like his right leg was back on the play and gave him a punch on the long side. And, you know, no telling how Chris Osgood's going to be. Has he been tested? What is that?
Well,
second shot in overtime. I mean, and after that long one, he did make and Turgeon shot wide on him at the end of regulation. So if St. Louis can get some attack on Chris Osgood, they might be able to end this. They just can't get anything on him.
Yzerman wins another faceoff. Gill came back to get it, cleared it around through Yzerman's legs out the center. Murphy drops it back to Lidstrom, back over to Murphy. We continue on. Game tied at 2. Knocked down Dimitra from Gill. Dimitra, poke checked away from him to Yzerman. Offside. No offside. Gill picks it up. Shot wide. Rebound. Came back to MacInnis. Shot. Going for the hat trick. Missed it on the short side. Both these teams, same philosophy. Get the puck. Shoot it. Gill trying to risk that one in. Murphy knocked it down. Murphy sends it out, and this will be an icing call on the Red Wings with Pronger coming back. My. Game tied at 2 apiece as soon as this one is through in St. Louis. We'll take you back. SportsCenter's coming along. Overtime in the National Hockey League. Both games tonight. The NBA playoff update and the Braves home run record. Yes, indeed. They're closing in on the Major League record. SportsCenter coming up. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. Great to have you with us here in St. Louis. This crowd certainly is enjoying it. They are revved up, over 16,000 plus on hand here tonight. They've dressed in white. They've got the white T-shirts and the white towels going here tonight. Series tied at 1 apiece right back here on Thursday. Bill and I and our crew will be here to bring it to you Thursday night. The only question now is who's got the 2-1 lead when we get there. Turgeon moves in. Martin will point. Bergevin dropped it. Shot to Shane. Save Osgood again, and he kicked it away. Cardinal pushes it up. Shanahan out of the zone. Steve Duchesne a chance at a game winner. Back through center, Turgeon again. Turgeon haul the trailer. Turgeon near side Courtnall. Roll between his legs. Shanahan up, not out. Turgeon blocked it. Back down low. Shanahan again will try it. Didn't get it by Bergevin. Yes, he did. Offside. There's another game going on. Let's check in with John Saunders. John.
Well, it's time for the 1-800-COLLECT. Great save of the night. Shane Corson of the Montreal Canadiens with a shot, and Dominik Hasek, who was dominated from the third period on. They're in overtime as well.
The Red Wings trying to pick it up on the road. They are 2-1 in the playoffs on the road.
Well, Chris Osgood sure answered at least part of the question of how he's going to be here in overtime on this save. Steve Duchesne really launched a good shot that was deflected. Oh, man. Osgood was up, looked like with the blocker getting ready to stop that, and was deflected down onto his body. That hit him.
Fetisov for Fedorov. Fedorov giving chase. McAlpine on him. Tomas Holmstrom. Holmstrom in the corner with Scott Pellerin. The Fedorov. Back for Holmstrom. Fedorov trying to cut to the middle. Holmstrom. Holmstrom. Good body protection of that puck. Fedorov. Fedorov. Dish to the boards by Pronger. Conroy got it out. Blair Atchingham. Fetisov, the youngster and the veteran. Fetisov takes him to the boards. Chip the puck away. In front, coverage by Mironov. Fedorov on the right. Fedorov with Holmstrom in the middle. Fedorov, Pronger. Holmstrom's got the puck. Holmstrom to Fedorov. They're running out of legs on this shift. Detroit needs a change. St. Louis. Pronger cleared it up. Detroit changing behind the play now. McCown trying to hold it in. Terry Yake. St. Louis will change. Jake fakes the blue liner. Draper cleared it out. Pronger back to get it. 7:50 to go in this first overtime. Dimitra got it into the zone onside. Campbell. Campbell pinned up down there by Draper. Comes back to the point. Gill. His shot. Save again. Again it was tipped. Osgood fighting some just wicked shots on him here in this overtime.
That was deflected. And you know what? This is the best traffic in this entire game that St. Louis has gotten in front of Chris Osgood. Two deflected shots. Look at the traffic in front of Chris Osgood, and Gill smartly shot it into the traffic instead of right at Osgood. It was a bouncing puck. Might have been an accident that he shot it into traffic. I might have been giving him too much credit, but it was still a good play. And Chris Osgood really looked like he was sharp picking that up coming out of traffic.
37-28 the shots in this game in favor of Detroit. Face off to the right of Osgood. Turgeon and of course Steve Yzerman. Scotty Bowman's got number 19 on the brain if there's a face-off, and for good reason. Yzerman's winning all the big draws here in this game. This one, Yzerman tries to chase down himself. Draper got it out. MacInnis back. Now MacInnis over to Hull. Turgeon came over, kicked away from him. Larry Murphy gets chased, got a little help before he got there. Flipped out by Yzerman. Again, MacInnis back. Draper forcing the play deep. Maltby out there helping him through the middle for Turgeon. Went wide. Icing call coming on the Blues. 7:10 left here in this first overtime of this 2-2 game.
Well, the Red Wings are playing Al MacInnis right. They're making sure they get on him before he gets to center. He's dangerous. Sure, Chris Osgood's yelling, pick him up, pick him up. As Al MacInnis hasn't been able to lead a rush or carry the puck at all. Chris Draper and that fourth line, when they get out there, boy, are they just absolutely determined to turn guys back and to create the forecheck. You can see that Draper had Maltby backing him up. 18 Red was in the shot there for a second. Forced Al MacInnis all the way back to make a low percentage pass that turned out to be an icing call. Good play by Draper.
2-2 game. We're in overtime. Sports Center coming right along as soon as we've completed the action here in game 3 between the St. Louis Blues and the Detroit Red Wings. Face-off will come to the right side of Grant Fuhr. Gets a new water bottle out there.
Yep, he'll be going through it real quick right about now. He sweats it off to add to the loss of fluid, so he's going to have to get water bottle refills probably a couple times a period.
Larionov won the draw. Mironov shot blocked out deep. Detroit playing it. Martin Lapointe shot. Tied up. Duchesne. Shanahan centering pass for Larionov. Hit off Terry Yates. Skate. Cleared out of the zone by Campbell. Another icing call coming on the Blues. Scrambles at both ends.
fortunate of the St. Louis Blues that Al MacInnis was able to come off the injured shelf after the groin and contribute the way he's contributed here. Goal number 1 was a power play goal. It was a laser to the corner. Goal number 2 in the dying moments of regulation with the Red Wings leading 1-0. Another laser that rose on Chris Osgood. Al MacInnis 2, Detroit 2.
Missed the first 2 games, groin problem. Playing tons of time here. 7 shots, 2 goals. Numbers 31 and 32 in his playoff career. This is 126th playoff game. LaPointe saved by Pure. Rebound. They tried to bang it home. Hoffey. Brendan Shanahan tried to score the game winner by hitting it from behind Grant Pure, off him and into the net. Pure stopped it.
It's a good idea, but he didn't have much to bank off of. Grant Fuhr was sitting right on his rear end, and you know, if the pads are squaredy, or even if you've got an upright pad to try to bounce it off of, but watch Grant Fuhr. Look, Grant Fuhr even hooked his left leg around the post so that there was no room. Watch this. Watch his left leg here. See him wrap it around the post so that there was no chance of any bank shot. Got all the tricks, and he knows when to use them.
He's played the 2nd most playoff games ever for a goaltender, behind Patrick Waugh. 133 playoff games total, with 85 wins, 3rd place in that department. And tough here tonight. Off the draw, Larionov. Larionov centering Shanahan. He's got a chance. Turnaround shot, blocked out deep. Kicked away. Courtnall. 3-on-3. Courtnall dropped it. Hall. The wrist. Wide. Rebound. Side of the net. Lidstrom. Larry Murphy picks it up. Murphy with another ton of ice time here tonight, and another exceptional game for him. Laid back. Detroit. Lidstrom trying to find a little room. Goes wide side. Shanahan trying to get off the ice over there. Will do so now. Steve Duchesne to Prong. Tipped ahead to Courtnall. Courtnall the wide side. Blues will change. 6:08 to go in this first OT. 14th overtime game played this year, including the 2 tonight. With the 4-4 game, Buffalo-Montreal. Detroit at center on the line change. Yzerman wide side. Now MacInnis. Campbell giving chase. Lidstrom blocked it. Murphy's got it. Murphy flips that one over at the blue line. They hold it onside. Shot. Pure makes the save on Gilchrist. Gilchrist the bump and run. McCarty the puck. Back to Gilchrist. Gilchrist with Yzerman. Yzerman bouncing puck. Shot it right into Mike Bergevin, who hangs on. Some point tonight, Jim Pronger was only concerned about how his son would be out there on the ice playing this game. It was about 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Now he really cares about who's going to win.
Right. Oh no, he's got a towel. I mean, he started with kind of a loose towel, but see it now, it's wrapped tightly around his hand, and he's probably clenching that fist. But he's seen his son play a tremendous hockey game here. 33 minutes and 4 seconds of ice time, all against Sergei Fedorov at even strength, but for 1 shift.
After going to the hospital in Detroit, being hit with that slap shot in the heart area, heart arrhythmia. The conclusion. Face off. Yzerman didn't do anything with that one. Pavel Dimitruk cleared it out. Jamie McCown hit by Campbell. Yzerman sends it off the boards in. Bergevin back. Bergevin ran that into Gilchrist. Gilchrist trying to center Yzerman, but it goes up and over the glass. And the last touch by Detroit, so the face-off is going to be at center ice. 5:21 to go here in this OT.
You know, when Chris Pronger went down in Detroit yesterday, a lot of people were trying to figure out what was wrong with it. There are a lot of lay people and a lot of doctors trying to help out with their own personal diagnosis of what happened. That's Ray Barilli. He is the Blues medical trainer. He had 77 voicemail messages yesterday from both lay people and doctors trying to help out. And he said that wasn't even the record, 77 voicemails. There were 90 the day Brendan Shanahan got traded away from here. And they were all bad that day, and he didn't return many of them. So 77 wasn't even the record.
Another Stanley Cup playoff moment. Another record. Mironov sends it back out. Blair action him. 5 minutes left to go in this first overtime. Game tied at 2-2. Played to Fetisov. Pellerin put the hit on. Pellerin got the puck. Pellerin jammed at. Fetisov swings it back the other way. Kozlov. Tomas Holmstrom. Fedorov out. Fedorov Fedorov moves in. Fedorov back. Mironov the shot. Blocked. Fedorov the punch. Fedorov looking for Kozlov in the middle. Kozlov came over to help. Fedorov, Tomas Holmstrom. Holmstrom coming to the forehand side. Gets tied up behind the net. Detroit changing. Maltby will pick it up. Wait for his teammates to clear and sends it in. Grant Fuhr holds that one up. 39-28. The shots in favor of Detroit. They have dominated here in overtime on shots, but boy, there have been some chances at both ends of the ice. Turgeon a mile offside.
Yeah. Boy, did Scott Pellerin nail Slava Fetisov. He's had it reasonably easy since the first period, but in the first period, it looked like he had a bullseye on him because everybody was running at him. I thought he was actually kind of stunned a little bit when Pellerin hit him. It looked like he lost his balance not once but twice. Watch the hit here. Oh! And it looked like he jacked his jaw, but watch him try to get up here. Well, he went back and he went at Pellerin, but when he went behind the net and was able to make a play, keep watching. Well, he's out of the play. It looked like he stumbled when he went behind the net again.
40-year-old Slava Fetisov has taken some bings and bangs out there tonight. Bartno, my, got away with that one. Turgeon saved by Osgood. I'm going to tell you something. If that goal had gone in, Scotty Bowman would have been on the ice first, because that was a hit from behind over there in the far corner that set that chance up.
You know, you've hardly mentioned Jeff Courtnall's name. I mean, he's been a quiet guy. He's got the Formula One Pistons driving the legs, but he hasn't had any skating room. But he just crushed Maltby. I think the thing that saved him was the angle of the boards there, and that Courtnall was trying, kind of coming down parallel to the boards and not coming from in front of the net. See how he came down parallel to the boards? And because the boards are angled there, that's probably the only thing that saved him. Speaking of saves, another good one by Chris Osgood. That was a good shot by Pierre Turgeon.
Courtnall playing in his 134th playoff game here tonight. This veteran. Scoring chances. Blues edging back in that department. Here in the OT. Face off to the right of Osgood. Fans again up. Barry Yake. Yzerman. Yake got an angle. Yzerman got the puck. Around for Igor Lariano. Bounce back into the middle to him. He kicked it ahead. Shanahan's on the right. Larry Murphy sees him. Shanahan shot wide. Yzerman went by the rebound. Larry Murphy back at center. Dimitra on him. Hacked in by Shanahan. Terry Yake around far side. Igor Lariano. Shanahan chasing to LaPointe. Shot it right through the crease. Backhand, no angle. Rouse sent it in. Pavel Dimitra stepped in. Dimitra taken down by Shanahan, but he got the puck up. Dimitra cleared it out of the zone. Good work down low. Double squeeze put on Campbell. Routes over to get it. Jamie McCown, and he had scissored it. Just off the bench, Turgeon. Turgeon hit by Shanahan. Down they go. Dimitra clears it in. Osgood back to get it. Down to 2:54 to go in this first overtime. Rolled out in front. St. Louis shot. Saved by Osgood again on Courtnall. They hold it in. Right point, McAlpine. Blocked. Out in front, Shanahan is still down on the ice, and a penalty coming on Detroit. Jamie McCown. Shanahan got off the ice, livid at the call.
An interference call on Jamie McCown. Well, it had to happen sooner or later. Just didn't know who it was. There hadn't been any blatant things that Dan Mariuelli let go in this overtime so far. Some pretty rough play, but nothing really blatant. St. Louis Blues pressing. Jeff Courtnall had the scoring chance. Osgood answered again. But now, the St. Louis Blues power play featuring the laser man Al MacInnis on the blue line gets a shot to put this game away. 2:40 to go in regulation. Or regulation, we've long passed regulation. 2:40 to go in the first overtime period.
Penalty goes, interference, 17:20 of the OT. Right there.
Watch Brendan Shanahan's reaction to this. I'm sure he's getting new lumber over the bench after crushing the heel of his stick with those two ice slashes.
St. Louis will use their 30-second timeout. St. Louis will. They want to set up this power play now. with 2:40 left in overtime.
They also want to rest the guys that were just on the ice. Cardinal was out there. Turgeon was out there. So was Brett Hall.
First penalty. First power play that we have had here in the overtime. Detroit's 0 for 6 on the power play. St. Louis 1 for 7. St. Louis scored on the MacInnis goal, the second power play chance they had. That came in the first period. Al MacInnis, both goals for St. Louis. McCarty and Holmstrom have the goals for Detroit. Red Wings have not trailed in this game.
Steve Yzerman's already preparing mentally for this faceoff. He has taken the lion's share of the draws. St. Louis has the faceoff in the right spot. It is deep in the Detroit zone, but the question is, can they get one away from Steve Yzerman, who has just been incredibly dominant on the faceoffs, especially in his own end. He's showing a hole in the ice here. A little longer delay.
MacInnis looking for the hat trick. There you see the faceoffs won by the Red Wings. Yzerman was 20 of 28 on faceoffs during regulation. This, of course, creates some room for these guys who have the big blasts, like MacInnis and Hull. Yzerman and Turgeon. 2:40 left in OT. A power play for St. Louis. Turgeon won it. Hull got it back to MacInnis. McCarty got right out on it. Larry Murphy looking for room. Gets it by Duchesne. MacInnis back to get it. Overskated it. McCarty puts the hit on. Duchesne comes back to help. Turgeon in the middle. Bump pass in, partially blocked and cleared back out of the zone. Lidstrom got it out of there. Maltby originally knocked it down. MacInnis starts it up. Turgeon, we're in overtime. It was on the line, still onside Courtnall. Lidstrom tying his stick up. In front, Larry Murphy. Length of the ice.
But there's just not enough puck support by the Blues power play guys to keep anything alive. One guy bogs down. You need help immediately, especially with the legs as heavy as they are right now.
Pronger got it up. Into the zone. Terry Yates sends it deep. Rouse is there. Rouse around. Pronger trying to hold it in. Pronger did. Lost it Rouse. Rouse cleared it out.
Guess what? This is going to be a high stick on the power play.
Tipped with a high stick by Detroit.
The faceoff's going to come all the way back down to St. Louis' zone. A masterful job of penalty killing by the Detroit Red Wings.
1:29 left in this first overtime. Sports Center coming along as soon as we have completed this game 3. 49 seconds left on the power play opportunity. The 8th power play of the game for the St. Louis Blues.
Terry Yates getting a lot of ice time. You know, he was injured. He took a slap shot right in the face. Well, it hit him in the helmet. It still exploded his forehead for between 15 and 20 stitches. He doesn't really know. And that little injury kind of got lost in the Chris Pronger story from Sunday.
That is Jake ready to take this draw. Jake against Fedorov. Jake won it. Pronger from Campbell. 43 left on the power play. A minute 20 left in the first OT. Gill from the red. Gilchrist back. Gilchrist, nice drop by Lidstrom, and he sends it out.
See, even a man short, Detroit's second guy is there almost always before St. Louis's second guy. And you can't run a successful power play that way.
Great drop pass there by Gilchrist. Still a power play. 20 seconds left, a minute to go in the OT. Intercepted, Larry Murphy. Penalty killers are playing very confidently and surely right now for Detroit. Near side Pronger. 9 left on the power play. 47 left in the period. St. Louis does not have a shot on this power play yet in overtime. Pronger, the gun, over the head of Osgood. He let it go. Dimitra. Talk about some ice water. Pavel Dimitra on the far side. Sends it back to Conroy. Conroy taken down by Yzerman. To Fetisov. To McCann. Out of there. Penalties over. They do not convert. So the St. Louis Blues get a power play in overtime and do not convert. Don't even get a shot.
Chris Pronger and Al MacInnis both have to be really huffing and puffing. Pronger has played so much. Al MacInnis hadn't skated for, well, 4 days before coming into this action. And look at him. He hasn't even been out for the last couple of minutes, and he's still just trying to get his win. That's why I agree with you, Gary, with Scotty Bowman rolling his 4 lines and St. Louis not able to. The fact that Scotty Bowman has been able to get all 6 defensemen in rotation has really helped them from keeping from getting worn down.
Yep, he really helped in that penalty kill. Larionov, we're in the final minute of the first OT. Shot, Brent Fjord tipped it away on the point chance. Rolled back out the center. Martin Lapointe came back to help after taking the shot. Lapointe up on Conroy. Larionov sends it in. And Steve Duchesne turns it up ice. Near side, routes the intercept, and that's the end of the first overtime.
Well, you know that Detroit will come out to start the next overtime period the same way they came out to start this one. Full guns a-blazing, led by Sergei Fedorov and his guys. But it has been tough going for Fedorov against Pronger. You almost think if somebody's going to end it, it'll have to be another line besides the Fedorov line.
Shots are 10-5 in the overtime in favor of Detroit, but nobody scored. It is still 2-2. Second overtime coming up. Our new Dodge overtime intermission. John and Barry.
Alfredson back to Kravchuk. Locked and scored from there. Across it goes. Yes! Nikolation trying to do everything he could to get back in the play.
Here's Bellows. Ford gets back on him. Backhander hits the side of the net. Bellows goes down out in front. Score! Shuey Shuno! Washington wins!
Now it's Sakic for Ozolinsh. Ozolinsh trying to get it back to him. Here he moves in. Scores!
Down into the corner. Bounces free to Ludwig. Now Nichols centers. Here's Susan. Shoots!
Grosek, Shatan, and Holzinger out there. Shatan in front, off the post, they score! That's it! Grosek scores them.
Here comes Mike Keane. Keane with Benoit Hope. It's a 3-on-2. Sador's on the play. Keane in front, scores! Mike Keane!
We're still going in a 2-2 tie, game 6. Pass for Bellows. Here's a shot, scores! Brian Bellows scores, and the Washington Capitals are on to round 2. Pass hits Sanderson. He's coming out there. Sanderson turning back. Sabres keep the puck and Holzing a shot. Here's a rebound, score!
Right moving in. Marshall goes to the net. But Joseph steers the shot to the corner. Here's a hurrying attempt. Cut off the shot. They score!
From center ice. This is one of 2 overtime games tonight. John Saunders has an update on the other one. John.
All right, guys, we'll find out if you're as lucky as they are up in Montreal, at least as Buffalo is. Ward finds Mike Pekka, the great defensive player, and Pekka steps in, lets the shot go, beats him. A win for the Sabres. They're up 3-0.
Well, that'll just about sew that one up as the Buffalo Sabres, barring a minor miracle from the Canadiens, are going to be moving on 3-0 in that series, winning that game in Montreal in double overtime right at the start of the second OT. Well, let's see what happens here. Double overtime. That's what we're starting at. Shots in the game are 39-30 in favor of Detroit. Al MacInnis has both goals for St. Louis. McCarty and Holstrom the goals for Detroit. Detroit has never trailed in this game. Up and out of the zone. Murphy cleared it out of there. MacInnis coming back. Will touch this one up. Nope. They're going to wave off the icing. Al MacInnis. St. Louis had a power play. The end of the first OT. Did not get a shot on it. Terry Yake. Yake comes to the red. Guns it in on Osgood. Blocked it off to the side. Murphy over to give it. Parvolomitro was there. Murphy kicked it away, but not out of the zone. Eiserman will be able to clear it. We were talking about Larry Murphy and his effort. He starts out there on defense for Detroit, and lo and behold, looking at the numbers through the first overtime, he had played more than any other player on the ice. Larry Murphy just kind of keeps sneaking up. Holmstrom took that one, but it's going to be whistled on the two-line pass.
Right behind Larry Murphy by a couple of seconds, his defense partner Nicholas Lidstrom, but the two horses for St. Louis have logged a bunch of time as well. Chris Pronger and Al MacInnis. Chris Pronger, being about 10 years younger than Al MacInnis, can take the punishment. Al MacInnis wants this to end, and he wants to have a smile on his face at the end of it. And I can tell you this, gazing into my crystal ball of practice tomorrow, there will not be practices for either of these teams. It will be a day off.
Today, almost.
Yeah.
Back it comes to Pronger. Near side for Chris McAlpine. McAlpine got it in. Slava Fetisov turns back into the middle. Fedorov to Holmstrom. Tomas Holmstrom, Fedorov the trailer. Holmstrom dropped it wide side. Pellerin over to get it. Pellerin up. Mironov. Bouncing puck. Can't hold it in. Blair Atchinham is chasing. Fetisov to Holmstrom. Holmstrom drops it back. St. Louis changes up here as Fedorov regroups. Fedorov up for Holmstrom. Holmstrom, Turgeon play each other off the puck. Played back in Bergevin. Bergevin, the defenseman, got it along the boards. Turned back, or Courtnall got it in rather. Up the center now. Kozlov dropped it off. Near side Lidstrom. Lidstrom crisscrossing, takes it. Oh, a big glove save.
Oh. Hardly at all tonight have the defenseman joined the rush and been a part of the attack. You can pretty well count on the St. Louis defense not being a part of it. For the Red Wings, Nicholas Lidstrom may be the only guy with enough legs to get up there. And he did on this play. Watch how he transitioned to a shooting position. Great. He just whipped his body around, kept the puck in perfect flat position, and ripped one that looked like it was headed for the glove side of Grant Fuhr. And that's one of the reasons it's been tough for St. Louis. Now that their defensemen are worn down, their coach Joel Quenneville thinks that defense have to join the rush to be part of offense. They can't get there now.
Blocked on the attempt by Murphy. Swung back by Lariano. Up the near side. Lidstrom holds it in. Lidstrom to Shanahan. Shanahan turning. The wrist shot blocked out the center. Larry Murphy. Nicholas Lidstrom. Back over to Murphy. Couple of chances right there for Detroit. Lariano. Shanahan. Shanahan turning. Duchesne. Comes the other way. Lariano helps. Lariano back to the point. Lidstrom the one-timer. Deflected in front and blocked. Brett Hull blocked it and cleared it out of the zone. Both teams over the boards. Back they come in. Lariano onside. Center tip just wide. Joey Kaiser. Joey Kaiser with a great chance. Could not direct that tip on net. Eyes good, played it in behind. Lidstrom again. Teams trying to keep these shifts short. Near side to Draper. Draper drops it. Turning. Maltby. Saved by Fuhr. Redirects it. Closer over to get it. Here in the double overtime game. Detroit continuing all four lines. All three sets of defensemen. Banged off the glass. Far side Yake. Draper on his tail. Yake cleared it out. Back over to Maltby. Detroit clears. Maltby sends it in.
Same way the first overtime period started, all in St. Louis's zone. Yeah, they could win this game. Going to take one chance. They just have to hope that Detroit doesn't end it before they get their chance, because they're not going to get as many chances. Detroit is all over them again.
There's McCarty moving up. Bergevin around. MacInnis. MacInnis cleared it up. Turcotte. Kelly Chase to Turcotte. Cutting. Leveled by Fetisov. He got one back.
Oh, Brett Hull had Darren Turcotte on the fly and waited a second too long to give it to him, and that's why Fetisov buried him.
There's Fetisov back in his own zone here. The aerial pass. Gilchrist gloved it down. Gilchrist, the red, the blue, and in. Sends it in behind the net. McCarty giving chase. McCarty puts the hit on Bergevin. Gilchrist up. Gilchrist dropped it. Wrap around McCarty. Save made by Fuhr on the short side.
And that's what the Red Wings have to do. Now that the Blues are really huffing and puffing out there, if you get the puck beside the net, step out in front. They've aggressively tried to do that a number of times. McCarty, Holmstrom. This is the play. It may not be a pretty play that ends this hockey game, but it doesn't have to be. It'll be beautiful by the time it's over, no matter which team scores. Take a peek. Where is it? Where is it? I want to make sure that it's not in there. Joey Kocur came this close to being a hero. Chris Pronger looked like he was holding his stick up a little bit, and that's why Joe Kocur couldn't get good wood on it. It just hit the tip of his blade.
Face off. Pronger. Draw. Won by Conroy. Cleared out. No icing. Osgood's got a player. Laid around Fetisov. Conroy stepped up. Conroy shot. Ooh, dangerous. Osgood had to make a save on that. Holding that post with a glove that time. Cleared out by the wings. Icing call. Pronger back on the touch. 15:42 to go. Second OT. 2-2.
You know, that last save by Chris Osgood was kind of scary from a Detroit standpoint. He wasn't square to the side at all. He had pulled off the post, and it was a sharp angle shot. But as we know, weird things happen in the Stanley Cup playoffs. In case you missed the first couple of periods of this hockey game, and the third period where Al MacInnis scored from center. Well, the Red Wings have been keeping the bread and butter plays of St. Louis off the board. That's those shots from center. They haven't even been able to get any long shots on them.
Detroit's moved out, obviously, to especially on Hull and MacInnis, cut them off once they come across the red line, not to give them a chance to wind up. Face-off will be to the left side of Osgood. Last time these teams went into double overtime, Yzerman got the goal against John Casey, May 16 of '96 in Game 7. Detroit won it. This is Game 3 with the series tied at 1 apiece. Larionov tipped it in the middle of Yzerman. Yzerman trying to bank it in, came right back to him. Larionov overskated. Campbell had it. Campbell trying to move it up to Shane's got it. Drop back to Yake. Yake turns it. Campbell. Backhand shot. Osgood a save. Will hang on.
Well, Jim Campbell found the back of the net in this series already. Game 1. Game that St. Louis won in Detroit. 1 rebound goal for Jim Campbell. He wasn't finished. Another rebound goal for Jim Campbell. But in this hockey game, the St. Louis Blues have only been able to generate 3 rebound shots on goal total through 4 periods on Chris Osgood.
Campbell coming up in the Montreal organization. Ended up 5 training camps and never even got into an exhibition game, but he's found a home here. Red Wings are 10 up. And the face-off to puck. Back to Shane. Shot deflected. He whistled, and the face-off will come right up along the blue line. The veteran Steve Duchesne has not picked up a playoff goal yet in a St. Louis uniform.
He's got the kind of shot to get in this hockey game, though. If the Blues can find him open. There's been such little sustained attack from St. Louis. It's like 1 rush. That's it. No sustained forecheck. No sustained use of the point shots because there is no forecheck down low. If St. Louis wins this game, it'll be just a bang-bang play or 1 rush, and they'll chip it in somehow. Detroit, on the other hand, will just overpower St. Louis with a forecheck and most likely end it that way. They don't get a pretty play.
Bergeron won the draw. Larry Murphy from Osgood. Bergeron. Piece of Murphy. Murphy gets it out. The high flip. Now MacInnis. Guinness's pass. Will be chased again by Murphy. Murphy off the boards. Larionov didn't get it out. Hull trying to drop it back deep. Centered. Portnoy was cutting. Couldn't get it to him. Shot MacInnis. Wow. That went wide on the stick side. But Osgood did not see it. That one's tied up in a jersey now, and Gill gets into it a little bit. Nobody could find the puck. Double overtime. Want to remind you, Wednesday night baseball doubleheader, 7:30. Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals. Braves continuing to bang out home runs. They got another one in their game. Mark McGuire hit the longest home run yet here in St. Louis. Doubleheader. Mets and Padres, 10:30. They got a doubleheader tomorrow. You see Mark McGuire reaching that 400 home run mark with fewer at-bats than anyone, including Ruth. Took more games. Fewer at-bats.
Well, just as Joel Quenneville did early on in the first overtime period, he has his 4th line out there. They have only played a few minutes each. Darren Turcotte with Kelly Chase and Pascal Réal. And the only reason Quenneville's got him out there is that Detroit has their checking line. But the checking line has been dominant on the forecheck.
Turcotte giving chase. Pascal Réal in the middle with him. Rouse back. Turcotte protecting the puck. Turcotte Up the boards, banged away, and onto the bench. Mark Bergevin trying to hold it in, but it went over on the Detroit bench. Players have gotten away with a little more here in these overtime periods of this game than they did in the first three.
Nothing blatant, though. And there's Kelly Chase with a little shot. I don't know. I think Dan Maruelli has called this game just the way it should be called.
Yep.
You got to show a little tolerance in OT, and hasn't been anything blatant. He called the one penalty against Detroit.
And St. Louis knows they've got to be real careful here in the second overtime. Played back in again by Bergevin, near side Maltby. Maltby dumped it around the net. Good hustle. Pascal Rayoum. He couldn't get the puck. Martin Lapointe's got it in the skates. Rayoum doing battle with him. Good work, Rayoum. Hull sent it into the middle of Turcotte. He couldn't knock it down. It rolled out to center. Down they go. Draper. Maltby's on the right. He was open, and it was blocked by Duchesne. Maltby was along the right side of that blue line, wide open. He was winding up, ready to take the one-timer, but Duchesne blocked the pass.
Good play. That's why you want to stay at least with your stick along the blue line to make that tip.
Yzerman got it out of the zone. Blues sent it right back in. Jamie McCown back to get it. McCown around for Darren McCarty. Campbell moving in on him. McCarty protected it. Got it out to Yzerman. Yzerman to Gilchrist. Gilchrist can't handle. Too close. Galpine took him out of the play. Pronger dumps it back to Campbell. Campbell will feed it in. Yzerman back. Yzerman. Pavel Demitra getting the stick to him. Jake had it. Lost it. Gilchrist has it. Gilchrist will send it in. Back to get it. McAlpine behind the net. Around the boards Campbell. Campbell the tip. Icing call coming. If the Red Wings get there first, they don't. Didn't cross the line. Mironov sends it up. Held in on the far side by Gill. Batted away Detroit to center. Moving it up Gilchrist. Gilchrist the shot. Wide on Grant Fuhr. Gill on the far side for St. Louis. Blues were changing. Larry Murphy had trouble with that one. Banked in off the boards but offside the St. Louis Blues.
Well, if you're wondering why we're here, if you're just kind of getting to your TV set tonight, about an hour and a half ago in the third period of this hockey game, Al MacInnis, with time running out, stepped to center and launched a shot that was flat for a while. Then it got airborne and it tricked Chris Osgood, and nobody has scored since. That is why we are still here. Chris Osgood came out, looked a little shaky during the first moments of the first overtime period, but is pretty well settled in. Grant Fuhr at the other end has been nothing short of sensational when he's had to be.
42-32 the shots in favor of Detroit. We're in the second overtime of this game, tied at 2. Pronger back. Fedorov was up in the check. St. Louis will move. Conroy dished over to Atchinum. Atchinum sent it into the zone. Pellerin was there as well. Here's Atchinum. Atchinum wants a wraparound chance. Got it. Osgood to save. Puck sitting shot. Conroy. Osgood to save. Conroy for the second time in this game with a chance on an overtime game winner, and Osgood denies him.
Well, this line looks like it's still got some legs. They don't have the finishing power that the Turgeon, Hall, and Courtnall line has, or the Campbell, Demitra guys, but they're going to outwork you if they can. Craig Conroy, Scotty Pellerin, Blair Atchinum. A great takeout along the boards by Conroy that sprung Atchinum loose. He tried the wraparound. It was left wide open in front. Oh, to be a left-hand shot for Craig Conroy, because he came in on the backhand and was just able to chip it. Watch. If he was a left-hand shot, he could have put that anywhere he wanted in the net. Right-hand shot, he just chipped it. Chris Osgood took away low.
Point shot deflected. Off the face-off win, cleared out. Bergevin had the chance. Shanahan onside, back to Lidstrom. Lidstrom for Shanahan. Went through. Grant Fuhr had it lined up. Courtnall centering pass. Larionov came up, batted it away. Duchesne the puck. Duchesne moved it into Hull. Hull turning, looking. Hull trying to bang it in. Martin Lapointe hits him and blocked the pass. Larry Murphy got it out of there. Steve Duchesne back. This is now the longest of the playoff games for this 98 season so far, as we're 11:40 remaining to go here in the second overtime in St. Louis. Courtnall had it in his skates. Fedorov took it away. Detroit, new legs out there on the ice. Brought in right side. Maltby, Draper, Fedorov. Maltby, Fedorov helped. Tried to bang it off the side of the net. Conroy was there. Conroy to Courtnall. Conroy, and Atchinum are out there now. Conroy Conroy looking. Courtnall's open to one-timer, deflected wide. Took a huge 45-degree turn on that shot, but it was wide. Better off clear. MacInnis back the other way. Osgood holds it up. Mironov back to get it. Mironov. Hatchingham cut it off along the boards. Big scramble in the corner. Puck's there. Well, he wants it moved. Players, though, have got it covered. Whoa.
Jeff Courtnall had the gun cocked, had the big shot ready to go. There he is, but Dmitry Mironov got a stick on it. Scotty Bowman kind of had a makeshift line out there. Boy, he had a great whip of the stick. Dmitry Mironov deflected it. Not that much wide. Boy, Scotty Bowman now looks like he's ready to use Sergei Fedorov even a little more than he's been using him. Been rolling 4 lines, but Fedorov was out there on the left side with the checking line with Maltby and the end with Chris Draper, and that is Al MacInnis, who is.
Remember, it's a groin problem that kept him out of the first 2 games. Did not see what happened to him, but Al MacInnis, being assisted off the ice, has scored the 2 Blues goals.
And looking ahead, there's no telling whether Al MacInnis will be ready to play the next game, but it sure puts the pressure on St. Louis to win this in the event that he can't make game 4. You've got to get ahead, at least buy him a little time to get back into the series.
Barry Yake won the draw, tried to get a shot, couldn't. McAlpine held it in. Rouse from McCown, held in by Dimitra. Yzerman does battle. Gilchrist not out. McAlpine will take it. Just right on the tip. Osgood going to make a save. Gilchrist backs it up. Near side for Yzerman off the board. Batted away from him by McAlpine. McCown and Dimitra collide. Campbell's pass came to center. Yzerman's got it. Not a lot of legs. There's not a lot of charging up ice here. Just trying to keep those Pistons moving. Dimitra back in behind the net. Quick line changes here. Detroit again changing it up. Dimitra moved to center, lost control of the puck. St. Louis will change. Terry Yake. Yake hit by Jamie Mackay. Played by Darren McCarty, who's got a goal for Detroit. Ian Holmstrom, the 2 goals for the Red Wings. Hatchingham trying to dig it out. McCarty won't let him. They'll take the face-off here. 9:55 left in the second overtime.
Joel Quenneville likes what he's seen from this checking line because he's got him right back out there as often as he can. Hatchingham and Pellerin and Conroy, they still got some jump. Young guys. But even the young guys are starting to run out of gas.
Well, we told you this one now has gone longer than any other playoff game for the 98 playoffs. Previous Washington-Boston game 3. That one 6:31 was won by Joey Juneau. Faceoff came back to Fetisov. Draper, Fedorov. Kozlov was up ice, came back to help. Fedorov to move it up. Sergei Fedorov in the zone. Fedorov, he was charging, trying to get to the front of the net. Holmstrom, Kozlov, Holmstrom. Conroy ran into his own player, but got the puck away to Hatchingham. Couldn't clear it out by Fetisov. Held in, Duchesne. Looking out in front. Kozlov cutting. Pass was blocked to him. Fedorov back on top of Fetisov. Fetisov fakes. Goes to the wide side. At the point. Shot Mironov. Deflected. Fiore's down. Fiore took a little sprawl on the ice. Now he gets back up. And Meriwether would have no part of it. Played in behind the net. Osgood back to get it.
That might have just been an attempt to draw a penalty there by Grant.
I think it was.
Yeah.
There goes Lidstrom. Lidstrom moving it in with Lariano. And that's going to be whistled on the offside.
But Detroit continues to try to jam in front. What happened on that play? But Grant Fuhrer went sprawling forward right onto his face. He looks like he's all right now.
As soon as he realized there wasn't going to be a whistle, he got better.
He got better real quick. Pretty good idea, too. Thomas Holmstrom in front. Gosh, he is. Was it his right leg? Oh, I don't know what happened. I think he was just trying to draw a penalty on that one.
Face off to Lidstrom. Lidstrom moved it in. Lariano off. Here comes Shanahan in. Shanahan scores! Brendan Shanahan! The Detroit Red Wings in double overtime have beaten the Blues 3-2. And they go up in this series 2-1.
There is as big a pile around Chris Osgood as there is around Brendan Shanahan. to celebrate this overtime winning goal. The Detroit Red Wings, half of them went right to Osgood and half of them went right to Shanahan. One of the few good opportunities Brendan Shanahan has had in this game, the only one since the first period of the game, and he made Grant Fuhr pay. I don't know where it went in the net, but did he ever snap a shot? Hard, quick shot by Shanahan, and this one is over.
Wow. Brendan Shanahan gets the game-winning goal. It'll be his first of this series, fourth of the playoffs at 11-12 of the second overtime.
Well, Detroit defenseman tried to stand up at the blue line. It's a great play by Igor Larionov to get it through to Shanahan. Nobody had him wide. 5-hole looks like the place that it went through. What a play by Larionov. What a play. He just passed to where, do you see the torque on Shanahan's stick when he let that go? He had a full snap going on that one.
The celebration of the Detroit Red Wings in a double overtime win in St. Louis, as the Red Wings now 3-1 on the road in this year's playoffs, and the Blues lose their first at home 2-1. The sellout crowd, a heck of a night and a heck of a game, and for Shanahan it'll be his second playoff overtime game winner. And the Detroit fans who waited here in St. Louis, a lot to cheer about. Igor Larionov, who we mentioned earlier was playing a whole lot younger than his years, will get the assist on that. Nicholas Lidstrom will get the other, coming at 11-12. Stanley Cup coverage continues Thursday. We'll be right back here for Game 4. The Red Wings now lead it 2-1 in the series, 7:30 Eastern Time. This has been a presentation of ESPN and ESPN2, the worldwide leader in sports. For Bill Clement and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Double overtime win. Detroit gets it. Sports Center is coming up next. Brendan Shanahan, the game-winning goal in Game 3.
The Sabres have worked Wayne Primo into the lineup on some occasions. Richard Schneich, of course, along with Alex Zipnik, getting their regular amount of ice time. Mike Wilson is returning to the Buffalo bench. And the faceoff will be back to the left of Theodore. 10:47 remaining in regulation. We're tied 4-4. And for the most part, this game has turned into a defensive struggle. I never thought I would say that, but here in the third, not much going on in terms of offense, and most of that has been from Montreal. 24 shots apiece for the teams.
Holzinger and Recchi are in the faceoff area. Recchi leaves it there. Brisebois wheels it around to Koivu. Koivu's pass to Recchi, coming to center. Corson's with him. Back pass to Corson. In for Recchi, but he got taken down. No penalty called. Zipnik coming away. Zipnik, the long pass to Audette. He'll swing it into the corner. Sanderson racing in there after it. Got it to Holzinger in front of the net. And Audette tripped over the goaltender. And Audette is going to get a penalty here. And Theodore appears to have been injured. And now somebody tried to spear Zipnik from the Montreal bench. And I believe that was Ulanov.
Well, Donald Audette got upset just off the goal crease. Went flying through the air, caught the goaltender in the head with his skate, and is going to get a penalty on a Montreal power play. Theodore, his helmet is lying back against the backboards while he's being attended to by the trainer.
You can bet he's hurt. He wants to stay in there in the worst way.
And Audette is going to the penalty box. Theodore out of the net to play the puck back in the corner. He spun around. The puck came back to the front. And Donald Audette was tripped up in front by Malakoff and crashed into the goalie. And it looked like the right skate or the right leg of Donald Audette may have caught the goaltender on the side of the head. Well, certainly something did, because it knocked his helmet off.
And Jocelyn Thibault, who was pulled in the second period, is now making his way out onto the ice. And he's drawing a few boos as he does.
And Thibault started this game tonight and was pulled after Buffalo scored their third goal. Theodore has done a pretty good job. The Sabres, Jeff Sanderson scored on him to make it 4-3. He now gets to his knees anyways, but still the trainer down there having a look-see. The Canadiens will have a power play. Adet is in the penalty box.
Partner, did they explain to you why they took a phone call, why the referee took a phone call in the second period?
No. Well, Dick Irvin came in here, but I wasn't sure. He did say that a whistle was blown. One of the flags that the people have here apparently was thrown down onto the net, and it was blocking the video camera. Now, that may have been why the call came down. Remember, we were trying to wonder earlier. Dick just ran in here a minute ago, and I really didn't get the full gist of what he was saying, but I think that's what he said.
That makes sense, because they would know that in the video room that the camera would not be able to work properly if it was called upon.
So that must have been what he was referring to. Somebody threw a flag on the net that covered up the camera, and there's the video replay. If a goal would have been scored that was in dispute, they wouldn't have been able to see it. So that was why the call went down.
I don't really understand, as you're going to get another look at Audette colliding with Theodore, who apparently is going to stay in there and is indeed going to stay in there. So Buffalo is going to be shorthanded. And it's Pekka who hooks it down the ice. Hasek coming way out of the net to leave it for Zhitnik, firing it around to the boards. And Pekka helps it to center. Back after it, Brisebois. Brisebois smacking it back in again. Hasek will let that one go right to Recchi. Recchi in the corner. Picks it free, but Pekka takes it away and got it to center ice. Halfway through the third period, tied at 4. Buffalo shorthanded, a minute and a half remaining in the penalty. Back at center, Koivu taken down by Ward. It's cleared across. Brisebois gunning it in. Tipped around to Recchi on the other side. Sending it to Koivu behind the net. Back to Recchi again. He'll feed it to Malakoff. To Brisebois on the other side. And then it's stolen away, and Ward spins it down the ice, and Buffalo completes a chain. Hooked around to Malakoff. Malakoff sending it across ice. Tip to Rosinski. Rosinski wheeling it to Damphus. Damphus in over the line. He goes down low. Pins it back into Rosinski. Tried to get it in front. Went around behind the net. Back for Rosinski again. Less than a minute remaining in the penalty. Rosinski keeping it in for Montreal. Damphus the shot. Hasek kicks it away. Rebound. Hasek stopped that one. And it's sent down the ice by Shannon. Theodore leaving it back there for the Canadiens. Ulanoff to start away. Sending it up ahead. Rosinski in over the line. Damphus lets a shot go. Hasek picks that baby off and hangs on to it.
Now, Dominik Hasek has not had a very steady night according to his standards, but I guess when you're not having a steady night, the most important thing is to stop the next shot. Well, since the fourth one went in by the Canadiens back in the second, he has stopped the next shot. And he has stopped some pretty good ones, in particular on this Montreal power play, stopping the initial shot by Damphus, and then it was Kentel who had a very good opportunity, but Dominik again is showing us why he is one of the greats, as he was in position to make the stop on the rebound.
7 seconds remaining in Audette's penalty. Pekka leaving it back there for Schmelik. He got it off the glass to the line, not out. Canadiens holding it in. Led by Damphus into the corner. Came in front. Savage a whack out of another whack. Chipped away. Vladimir Malakoff, a shot that goes up in the air. Glove down. Ward can't get it out. Kept in by Montreal. Here's Damphus looking in front. Backhand. Hasek's got it again. Damphus was sure he was ready to chalk that one up.
He made a great play too. Dixon Ward had to field the puck that was high in the air. He didn't know that Damphus was behind him. Well, after he fielded it, Damphus picked his pocket and moved in alone on Dominik Hasek. What a great play by Damphus. Or I beg your pardon, that was Savage. It was Damphus who ended up with the scoring chance. And he couldn't beat Hasek on the backhand as Dominik speared it with the left glove. So it was Savage, I beg your pardon, who made the great play to take the puck from Dixon Ward. And Damphus tried to score on the glove side and couldn't do it. The puck may have been going wide, but Hasek caught it and held on for the faceoff.
4 seconds left in the penalty. It comes to Quintal. Quintal, other side, long shot. Hasek knocked that away, and he will hang on to it as the penalty expires. We're still even at 4. A little over 8 to go in the third.
Casa de Pizza is proud to introduce its all-new barbecue lineup for your pre- or post-game feast. Our barbecue ribs are the biggest, the meatiest you'll find, and our wings are enormous. But it's our barbecue sauce that is so good, you'll be back all season long. We deliver, and we'll even cater your next game day party. Casa de Pizza. For over 44 years, we've been making your pizza. Call 883-8200 or our new location at 684-9100, 6036 Transit Road. Casa de Pizza.
On the ice to take this face-off against Curtis Brown. Time is a wasting here in regulation. Still all even at 4. Has not been a goal scored here in the third period.
And the Sabres have not had a shot on goal here in this period.
Well, they've also played short-handed an awful lot in 12-0 Montreal, but the Canadiens had a lot of power play time in there. Kept in by Quintal with a shot. He fired that one wide. Barnaby can't get it out. Popovic holding it in. And it's finally popped free, and Brown slips it to Barnaby. Barnaby tried to get it through the middle. The pass went behind Grosek. Quintal in the corner, sending it all the way to center ice. That's swept across for Schmelik. Schmelik banking it off the boards. Corson had it jump his stick. Up back to Popovic. Popovic drills it right into his own bench. Xerox fast fact for tonight. We're in game number 3. Oh my goodness.
Can it be true?
Do you remember that?
I do. I would never forget that. That was a first hat trick I ever scored in the playoffs in Minnesota. And of course, we won that game 7-1 to eliminate the North Stars.
See, I know I was there, and I don't remember. That's why I wanted to check to see.
It's so rare that I thought for sure that would be one of your broadcasting memories. I guess not.
Somehow I got lost in the shuffle.
I guess so.
Holzinger can't come up with the puck. Malikov spins it across ice, but Sanderson keeps it in. Tap back in the other direction. Rolled around on the boards to the blue line. Finally out to center. Zhitnik leaving it to Sanderson. To Holzinger. He got turned around. It's intercepted by Bureau. Bureau ripping one in. Hasek stops it behind the net. Got it around on the boards to Holzinger. Didn't get it out, but Zhitnik will. 3-on-2 Buffalo. Zhitnik in over the line. Out back to Sanderson. Tried to get it to Zhitnik and went behind him. Ulyanov feeding it up to Thornton. Thornton sends it to center ice. Broke it up. Bugner ripped it back in again. And he got smacked by Bureau along the boards. And the puck, I guess, went out of play. I don't know where it is.
Well, Mark Bureau again bumped into Dominik Hasek, and Hasek laid the lumber across him in the Sabre zone. That's the second time tonight. And Dominik just gave him the lumber in front as Hasek played the puck, and wasn't much of a bump, but still, he's no business doing that, according to Dominik Hasek. And Bob Bugner got really hit hard at the Canadian bench and roughed up by Bureau. And again, Bureau continues to play a tough game tonight for Montreal, and this line of the Canadiens has been very good. And we haven't seen Miroslav Shatan, not much of Primo either, as this game has worn on. And 7:10 to go. The Sabres look a little weary.
They're using 3 lines almost exclusively.
And so are the Canadiens for that matter. But at this point, and particularly in this third period, the Canadiens have looked like the stronger, fresher team.
I haven't seen Hoagland or Paul-Anne Bordelot, or Sebastian Bordelot, I'm sorry. Paul-Anne's son. Popovic dropping it back. Here's Brisebois coming through the middle to Rudzinski and over the line, giving it to Dan Post. Trying to drop it off in the corner. Wilson got involved. Came in front of the net. Savage is robbed by Hasek. Away to center for Verada. Verada in over the line. Things went around behind the goal. Ward chasing after it. Missed it. He tried to scoop it in front of the net. Sent to center again. Pekka drilling it across ice. Tapped back in by Verada. Buffalo hustling to make a change. Brisebois starting away. Brisebois wants to send it through center ice. Zhitnik steals it back, but then he lost it and turned to Brisebois. Brisebois just eases it in. Shannon recovering in the corner for Buffalo. Shannon sailing it back for Zhitnik. He'll wait back behind the net to set up an offensive play with a little over 6 to go here in the third. far as center ice. Groshek's got the puck. Groshek dumped it in over the line, but Brown was offside. But the Canadiens come back again. Recchi feeding it to Corson. Corson left by Schmelik. Sent all the way around to the boards. Quintal keeping it in. Spun back behind the net. Schmelik flipped it. Kept in by Recchi. Got it to Corson. Corson turning in the corner to Recchi. There's Quintal with shot. And Hasek grabs a hold and hangs on to that one. Barnaby and Koivu are involved in front of the net with a little face washing.
Well, again, I mentioned the Sabres look a little weary. Richard Schmelik tried to clear the puck up along the boards, didn't do a very good job of it, and it was picked off by Montreal, and Quintal back at the right point ends up gunning the shot towards Dominik Hasek, and the danger there was Saku Koivu was cruising in front of the net, and he had an opportunity to deflect the puck, but he missed it. Or if he did tip it, Dominik Hasek was in great position to make the save.
And with less than a minute to go in St. Louis tonight, MacInnis scored his second goal of the game from center ice. They're going to overtime. Strange things are happening in that game, too. And we've got less than 6 minutes remaining away from overtime here. Back to the point. Malakoff, screen shot, didn't get through. Tip to the corner, rolled to the blue line. Malakoff kept it in there. There's Wilson being checked by Bureau. Flipped it back into the corner. Wilson trying to work it on the wall. Can't do it. Stevenson keeping it in. Stevenson leaves it to Bureau. Fending it around behind the net. Out in front. It's kicked away right in the goal crease. Oh, whack at it. And Audette comes up with a puck and sends it back into Montreal territory. It's going to go wide of the net.
And the Canadiens continue to pressure Buffalo. The Sabres are just having a simply horrible time in their own zone. And Montreal, the stronger team, getting the chances here in the third, out shooting Buffalo 33-24. And a game where Dominik Hasek began shaky and was shaky for 2 periods. Suddenly he's solid as a rock in there for Buffalo when they really need him. And isn't that what you expect from your goaltender?
Well, and I think, too, partner, we should keep in mind that in all this euphoria surrounding the winning that Buffalo's been doing, obviously the Sabres aren't going to win every game they play. Now, I'm not saying they're going to lose this game. I don't mean that, but
they have the best playoff record of any hockey team. Exactly. 6 wins and 1 loss coming into tonight's game.
Pekka winning the draw from Dan Poos. Woolley swings it around on the board. Not out. Rosinski keeping it in to Dan Poos again. Pekka slows him down. They both go down. Here's Bugner tapping it around on the boards and out to center ice. Brisebois recovering. Less than 5 to go in the third. Up the middle to Savage. Try to get it to Dan Poos. Rosinski carries on. Rosinski in over the line. He gets knocked off stride, but Dan Poos got it into Savage, taken away by Ward. Ward will leave it to Schmelik, tipping it into the corner for Zhitnik. Zhitnik feeds it to Verada. Verada stepping to center ice, to the Montreal line, going wide on Ulanov. Ulanov grabs him, and no penalty there. Ulanov got hauled down. Or back to Verada, I should say, getting hauled down. Here's Schmelik keeping it in. Goal in front of the net. Verada after it. Verada turning. Tried to clear it in front. He hit a skate. Poked back into the corner again. Jammed around on the board. Sent to the blue line. Schmelik can't keep it in. And how did Ulanov not get a penalty for grabbing Verada? There's a shot by Zhitnik. Ulanov blocking that one. Quintal clearing it off the boards all the way to center. Zhitnik back after it. Woolley had to hustle to get off the ice. Here the Canadiens cleared in front of the net. Backhand. Save made the rebound. Right in front again. And Brown got rid of it before the Canadiens could connect. Went back down the ice. Montreal coming up with it. Here it is behind the net. Trying to get it out in front is Groshek. Groshek after it again. Tipped into the corner. Brown charging after it, but Recchi starts away. Recchi coming to center ice. The tackling going on now. Brown should have got a penalty. Recchi in over the line to Koivu. Koivu holding it in there. He'll spin it back behind the goal. Shannon punches it in the other direction. Quintal keeping it in. And now it's kicked out to center. Buffalo making a change. Sent across to Popovic. Popovic gaining center ice. He's belted by Holzinger, but it's knocked to the corner and slapped away and set to center again. Canadiens had too many men on the ice and got away with that one. Now it's fed ahead all the way to center. Schmelik to Shannon. Shannon ripping it in over the line. Here's Sanderson and Shepard. scoop to the corner. Jeff Sanderson robbed by Theodore. Now cleared back into the Buffalo end. Thornton bumping in there along with Shannon. Taken away by the Sabres and worked up ahead for Audette. Audette got rid of it as he took a hit from Stevenson. Malakoff to center. Got bowled over. Holzinger catching Montreal in the change. Shoots one. Theodore got a pad on that. And ending up in the net is Audette. And play continues. Damphus coming back again in over the line. Jam back into the corner. Damphus going after it. They spin it around on the boards. Savage trying to pry it free. Well, they all jam in there again, and finally the whistle goes. Holy mackerel! Mark Fawcett lost his whistle. Call a cop.
If you've been thinking about pursuing a career in sports or upgrading your current education for promotion, or maybe you've been thinking about a career change, then you should think about the Masters of Science in Sport Administration program at Canisius College. One of only 4 programs of its kind in the country, the Sport Administration program has formed affiliations with major professional sports organizations across the country. And with our highly experienced and qualified faculty, the Masters of Science in Sport Administration at Canisius College is the one program in Western New York for you. Call now for more information.
Some brilliant goaltending by both goaltenders here as this third period clicks down. Dominik Hasek with a couple of big saves on Montreal, and then Jeff Sanderson, Buffalo's best chance of the period, one-on-one against Theodore, and Sanderson tried to go up top with it and couldn't do it. Great stop by Theodore, and a face-off back in the Sabres zone to the left of Hasek. 2:14 to go in regulation, tied 4-4.
Slides in front of the net, chipped up on the wing. Verada trying to get to it and does. Voronov will chase back after it from Montreal. Voronov challenged by Pekka, sends it to Damphus. And the Montreal captain away through center ice. He wings one off into the corner. Hasek coming out to play it off the glass. Savage getting involved along with Rosinski, and Zitnik takes it away with a pass to Ward. Ward, a long high pass, way too high for Verada to knock down. Back into the corner. Quintal will get a hold of it and send it out to center ice to Koivu. Koivu to the Buffalo line and over. Well, grab him, tackle him. Doesn't make any difference. Won't call a penalty. Set back in the other direction now. Malakoff feeding it up to Recchi. To Koivu. Leaving it there to Corson to Recchi. Into Koivu in the corner. Schmelik got involved. Bump from behind. And it's taken away by Barnaby, who eases it around to Wilson. 1:15 left on the clock. Pass now to Barnaby to the Canadian zone. Barnaby in over the line. Got it through to Brown. Took his shot and fired it wide. Roll back into the corner. The pass to Corson. Corson coming to center for Koivu. Saku Koivu in over the line. Going on to the backhand. Cleared it in front. Deflected right in front of the net. Jammed by 3 finally and held. And the face-off coming up. I'm not sure where the puck is. I guess Dominik Hasek must have it.
I think Dominik Hasek's got it underneath him.
Yeah.
Usually, that was a very unfamiliar position for Hasek. He was laying on the seat of his pants, and he had his left pad on the left post and his right pad on the other one. Gumby at his best. And he ended up with the puck underneath him. A great opportunity again for the Canadiens as they have a total of 35 shots and Buffalo 26. The Canadiens really have played well here in the third.
53.5 seconds remaining in that period.
Mark Bureau is very good on faceoffs. Will take this against Brian Holzinger. Holzinger's done a good job against Bureau tonight.
Spun to the board. Freeze block keeping it in. Here's Thornton with a shot. Hasek grabs that one and does not allow a rebound.
Now solid goaltending again by Dominik Hasek as Holzinger lost the faceoff to Bureau. And Thornton ended up with about a 30-footer. Dominik Hasek made the stop. Good job in front by the Buffalo defenseman Richard Schmelik as he got great position on Bureau and did not allow him to get to the front of the net. And that's what you talk about by getting position on the winger. And Schmelik showed us a great example of that.
Bureau on the draw this time against Pekka as soon as the linesman is satisfied. Just lying there in the circle. Finally goes to Schmelik. Schmelik using the boards off Verada to center ice. Tap back in the other direction. Now tipped up to Verada again. Gets in over the line. Gets around Malakoff in front. Can't pick it over the air. The rebound. Ward keeping it in. Ward twisting in the corner. Looking in front of Verada. Oh, Pekka fanned on it. Back comes Montreal. Stevenson. 20 seconds remaining in regulation play. Stevenson kicks it free in the corner. Zhitnik caught up with him. Tapped it around to the boards. Ward knocks it down and flips it all the way through center ice. And we're 10 seconds away from overtime. Oh, brother. Buffalo with a great opportunity. Up to Thornton at center. And we are going to OT for the second time in this series.
Well, the Buffalo Sabres can thank Dominik Hasek for that. He was just tremendous here in the third period. As both teams entered the third, deadlocked at 4, and a wonderful goaltending performance in the final 20 minutes by Dominik Hasek. Theodore made his best stop on the breakaway by Jeff Sanderson.
So Hasek might have been described as a bit on the shaky side earlier, but in the third he was dominant once again, and we are going to OT.
It's time for Ask Empire. Philip Monahan from Syracuse, New York writes,
with so many different sports in your region, how do you decide which ones to cover?
That's a fair question. With so many sports teams in our region, choosing what goes on our air has become an exact science.
1, 2, 3, go!
Empire Sports Network. So much to choose from.
Welcome back to the Molson Center here in Montreal. We're getting ready for overtime with the score tied 4-4. And the Buffalo Sabres in this playoff season have been involved in 2 playoff games. Let's go back to Philadelphia. Overtime. Buffalo on the power play, and Michael Grosek in Game 5 scores the winning goal, and the Sabres eliminate the Flyers in Game 1. In this series, Jeff Sanderson, after Holzinger threw the puck to the front of the net, Turner Stevenson tipped the puck to the left, and there was Jeff Sanderson who gunned the quick shot into the top corner, and the Sabres won Game 1 at the Marine Linden Arena by a score of 3-2, and 5 of the last 6 playoff games have gone into overtime between these two clubs, and Buffalo's only win was Friday, but that broke 14 consecutive overtime victories by the Canadiens, an NHL record. Sanderson had a great chance in the third period to score, but could not beat Jose Theodore. And Buffalo will start this overtime period with Curtis Brown, Michael Grosek, and Matt Barnaby.
And both teams just have to remember they can forget what has happened in the previous 3 periods in this game.
Doesn't mean a thing. No. It only means that forced overtime. Benoit Brunet against Pittsburgh for the Canadiens. Their 1 win in the overtime came in Game 1.
Schmelik will dish one in as Corson knocked down Barnaby. Runned around on the boards and tapped back down the ice into the Buffalo end. No icing, however. And the water bottle is on the ice behind the Buffalo net. Schmelik off the boards all the way through center as Malakoff misses it. Quintal to catch up with it now for Montreal. Fires it ahead. Grosek unable to keep it in. And here comes Koivu. Zhitnik fell. Corson shoots one. Hasek's got that one and hangs on. And now some mixing up going on in front of the net.
Well, Alex Zhitnik bumped into the referee, and that allowed the Montreal Canadiens to skate into the Sabre zone with a Buffalo forward playing defense in place of Alex Zhitnik. So the Canadiens with an opportunity. Zhitnik actually lost his edge and then crashed into the referee. The referee was not in the way on the play, but excellent scoring chance by Shane Corson. Curtis Brown, who's so smart defensively, was back there to help out. Zhitnik lost an edge and tumbled into the referee. So the face-off to the right of Dominik Hasek. The Sabres overall in the second or in this hockey game have not done well on face-offs.
Will do on this one, however, as Pekka gets it to Shannon, tipping it around for Verada. And it's taken away by Rosinski, who runs into the referee. Sent to the other side. Ward recovery. Scooped it to center. Peckett couldn't pry it free. Damphus dishes it right back in again. Hasek is out of the net, and he gets knocked down by Rosinski. No penalty called there. Sent away to center ice now. Popovic fires it back in. Left in behind the goal to the corner to Shannon. Shannon has some difficulty. He got it around for Verada. Verada shoveled it out over the line. Savage bringing it back again, scooping it into the corner. Hasek way out of the net again. He guns it to the other side, had the stick knocked out of his hands. Hasek stickless. They poke at it on the boards. Ward can't get it. Kept in there by Bureau. Now Shannon works it around, but not out. Montreal keeping it in. Sent back behind the net again. Canadiens with Bureau, tapping it to the corner. Pekka going after it. Pekka takes a hit from Stevenson. Back to Ulanov with a shot. Knocked down by Shannon. Shannon away to center ice. Got it to Ward. Verada takes a shot, and that one goes off the glass. Malakoff recovering. Malakoff bringing it away as he comes to center ice. Tipped it up ahead. Stevenson flipped it in over the line. Delayed offside. Primo dropping it back, so the whistle will go. After every Sabres playoff game, stay tuned for Hockey Hotline. Mike Robitaille and Brian Blessing taking your calls and giving their analysis of the game. Hockey Hotline following every Sabres playoff game only on the Empire Sports Network.
Every time Dominik Hasek comes out of the net, the Canadiens are getting a piece of him. Either it's part of his body or they're going after his stick. Twice he's lost his stick. As Hasek tried to field the puck off the backboards and did that, and then it was Rosinski who ran into him from behind, knocked him down, but Mark Facette has the blinders on. It doesn't look like he's going to call a penalty. He didn't call any in the third, and he had every right to on a number of occasions for both teams.
Popovic wheeling it to Brisebois. Brisebois sends it away at center. Woolley couldn't break it up. It's tapped in. On to the boards. Corson keeping it in. Flips it in the other direction. Koivu spins it back behind the net. Goes after it again. Koivu bumping in the corner with Woolley, who took him off the play. Sent it to the blue line. Not out. That's knocked down, and it's jammed to center ice. Recovered by Popovic. Popovic bounces it back into the Buffalo end. Schmeling is feeding it up on the wing. Canadian Brisebois taps it to Koivu. Koivu turning around, trying to get away from Primo. It's stolen back by Grosek. Grosek dumps it in. Theodore whips it around on the board. Primo trying to keep it in there, ran into his check, and it comes to Koivu in over the line. Koivu fighting off a check, going wide in the corner. Left it there, and it slides out to center. Kept back in the other direction, recovered with Schmeling starting away. Up the middle it comes. Holzinger with Audette. Pass to Audette going in. Holzinger. Oh, the pass went behind him. Canadiens starting back with Savage. Savage through the middle to the Buffalo line. Recovered by the Sabres and whipped up on the wing to Sanderson. Sanderson in over the line. Looking for Audette. Flipped it in front of the net. Knocked down. Chipped out to Savage. Savage coming right back again. The long shot. Sails off into the corner. Kept in by Quintal. Jammed in now for Wilson. Wilson bumping with Savage along the wall. Damphus helping out. Damphus knocks it free to Rosinski. Rosinski spinning around to the point. Quintal fires it wide. Audette scoops it free for Buffalo and comes to center. Up it comes to Holzinger and over the line to Sanderson. Sanderson racing into the corner. He can't control it. Goes after it again, bumping with Quintal. Canadiens knock it free to Damphus. To Rosinski too far. Both teams are trying to make some changes. Now it's stolen away. Stevenson kept it back into the corner. Shannon going after the puck. Fans on it in there. Montreal keeping it in. Around behind the net it goes. Kept in by the Canadiens to Popovic on the other side. Long shot by Ulanov. Shannon takes it away. Shannon will scoop it up to center. Barnaby didn't see it. Got away from Ulanov. Ulanov recovers. Wheels it back through the middle again. Into Stevenson. Stevenson in over the line. Looking in front of the net. Cleared right in front. There's a rebound to Bureau behind the goal. Bureau cuts back to the point. Ulanov takes his shot. That went off a skate. And it's picked up by Barnaby, who starts away. 3-on-2. Barnaby to Brown. Brown in over the line. Ripped a shot that deflects in behind the goal. Grosek trying to leave it back there. Two Canadiens fell. And it fired all the way down the ice right on Hasek. Hasek sending it up for Woolley. Woolley up on the wing it comes. Dumped ahead by Ward. He got taken out. Back in the other direction as Verada ran into Popovic. Hasek cleared it on the boards. Koivu keeping it in to Corson behind the net. Got it right out in foul. That's deflected away. Tapped to the blue line and out over the line. Canadiens recovering and wheeling it back down the ice. It sure looked upside to me. Set up ahead in far center. Montreal coming back with Ricky. Ricky taking a shot. He fired it wide and it'll go into Montreal territory. Over 5 minutes gone by in the overtime period. Cleared to Corson. Corson starting away. He comes through the middle to the Buffalo line. Gets checked, but gets it back again. Now slips it in over the blue line. Pekka watching him. The 227s. Koivu after the puck. Hit back there by Shannon. It's spun around on the boards. Kept in by Brisebois. Long shot is kicked away and sent to center ice. Malikoff recovering. He'll flip it high in the air. That'll be taken by Koivu. Dumps it right back in again. 6 minutes have gone here in the overtime period. Woolley. And a brain out now by wheeling it across ice. The pass up the middle to Pekka. Pekka will dribble one in. Sanderson racing after it in the corner. Sanderson trying to get it in front. Comes back to the point to Schmeling. Schmeling took his shot. Blocked in front of the net by Quintal. Brzezinski coming away. Brzezinski leaving it for Damphus. Across for Quintal again. He slips and falls. He scooped it to the Buffalo line. Holzinger takes it back. Holzinger being chased by Damphus. Got it up on the wing to Sanderson, and the referee got in front of Sanderson and took him out of the play. Well, Montreal recovering again. Worked off the boards. Sanderson stole it back, left it for Brown, watched by Rosinski. They go to the corner together, wrestling in along the wall. Puck line there, Barnaby trying to pick it free, so is Popovich. Barnaby after it again, check from behind. Stevenson sending it through center to Bureau. That's taken away by Woolley. Brown has to chase after the puck. Hasek will tap it to Woolley. Off the boards through center ice. Racing after it, Barnaby, who's offside. He fired the shot, and the whistle goes as soon as he does, and Ulanoff comes over to challenge him. Now Bureau comes over to get in the mix. And then Barnaby takes another one in the yep. And then the Canadiens fire a stick to center. Thornton. That's a penalty too, of course, but that won't be called. The lumber's coming up everywhere here.
Now you get the feeling that a goal is going to be scored at any time. Both clubs are going for it. I mean, neither team is sitting back and trying to play a checking game. This is just wide open. 12:53 remaining in this fourth period. Buffalo 4, Montreal 4. And Fawcett finally has things under control, I believe. Rip Simonik returning back to the Buffalo bench, the best skate sharpener in the business, as he sharpened the skate of Alex Zipnik, who lost his edge early in this overtime period and went down. And I mentioned he was also grinding down Zipnik's skate this morning with the skate grinder.
He's a master at his craft. No doubt about that.
Well, I'll tell you, those trainers, those equipment guys, particularly Rip, they know exactly what each player wants, how they like it, and whether they make sure that they get what they want. Now Curtis Brown, Grosek, Barnaby on the ice for this faceoff just down below us inside the Buffalo blue line. Here in Montreal, tied 4-4 with 12:53 remaining in the overtime period. Just one shot so far in this overtime period, that by Montreal, but
that's not for lack of action.
That's for sure. We've had a number of shots blocked, particularly on Dominik Hasek. The Sabres done a good job in front of him.
Ulanoff will keep it in. Fires one that ends up in the corner. Thornton charging after it, but he's tied up by Bugner. Brown scoops it free, getting it to Barnaby. Barnaby coming through center. Brown looked like he was cut. There's Grosek getting grabbed and hauled down. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter. Hit somebody over the head. There won't be a penalty call. They go at it again, and finally play is called, and Bureau and Barnaby are nose to nose. And now Barnaby gets nailed from behind again. It doesn't make any difference. Oh, he's going to call. No, he just takes Barnaby's helmet and fires it away. Goes Ulanoff.
Well,
this is a joke now. This is
out of control.
I understand Mark Fawcett saying, okay, I don't want to call this game. I don't want to be involved in the outcome of it, but it's gone to the ridiculous. In the third period, it was getting to be a joke, and now it's just getting to be worse.
Well, that's precisely the point. The players don't know what to expect from this kind of an officiated hockey game. You go from one extreme to the other. And now he has called penalties, I assume, to Barnaby and Ulanov. Ulanov is going into the Montreal side, and Barnaby into the Buffalo penalty box.
Barnaby's going to go and get his equipment. The Canadiens were firing it all over the place.
And Barnaby gets a rise out of the crowd here in Montreal. And we'll play four-a-side with 12:34 remaining in this overtime period. Now, Curtis Brown, that all began with Brown getting high stick by Bureau. Brown hit the deck and play went into the zone. Michael Grosek got taken down, and then Mark Barnaby just drills Turner Stevenson from behind. He should have been gone. There could have been 3 penalties on the play, and none of them were called. And then the altercation began between Bureau and Barnaby, and Ulanov got himself involved, and they're both in the penalty box now. So Pekka is on the ice along with Verada. Domfus and Wyshynski come on for Montreal. Zhipnik and Schmelik will play defense. Face-off will be to the left of Theodore. This has been a struggle for Buffalo. They have not played one of their better games, but as we have come to know so well, this club is very resilient and never stops battling, and they've battled through and gotten to this point. With the score tied at 4, thanks to a great performance in the third period by Dominik Hasek.
And now it's scooped, but it goes all the way back to the Buffalo line. And Zhipnik with those newly sharpened skates back after it. Up to Verada, hit the referee. Here's Pekka in over the line. Took his shot. That's blocked. Pekka took another whack at it, but it's taken away by Popovic, and he got slashed by Pekka. Sent to center. Zhipnik getting it back. Up to Pekka in his skates. Pekka finally catching up with it. To Schmelik. Schmelik in his own end, looking for an open man. Elects to send it to center. Brisebois took a hit from Verada. Verada and Brisebois scooping at the puck. Damphus takes it away. He tried to get it to Rosinski and did. Rosinski back for Damphus. To the Sabres line to Rosinski. Took a shot. Hasek got an arm on that. Popovic keeping it in. Spins it around behind the net. Hasek will leave it back there. Zhipnik leading the rush to center. Zhipnik took a long shot, and Theodore kicks it right to Popovic. Buffalo completing a chain. Popovic waiting behind the net for Recchi to come back. Now gets it to Quintal. Quintal as far as center, taken away by Brown. Ups it back for Shannon. Shannon squeezes it up on the wing to Ward. He tried to pass through the middle. That was knocked down, but it's been called, and a face-off inside the Buffalo line.
Well, what a nice play by Curtis Brown. Checking play in the neutral zone, and he got body position on his check, took him into the boards, and Sabres gained possession. Curtis Brown, again, a very smart player in his end of the rink, takes his defensive responsibilities with a great deal of pride, and he's really contributed here tonight again after playing outstanding in Game 2. He's on the ice here with Dixon Ward for this face-off inside the Sabre line.
Quintal will slip it ahead to Koivu and get it right back again to Malakoff. Malakoff trying to get to center ice, and does. The Buffalo blue line, and now he goes back in the other direction with 30 seconds left in the penalties. Quintal feeding one into the corner. Shannon bumping with Koivu. Taken away by Ward. Wheeling it around to Brown on the other side. Brown slipping it up to Woolley. Woolley trying to gain center ice. Tapped it ahead. Too far for Ward. That'll go to the corner. Quintal leaving it back there. He left his stick stuck in the boards as well. Now sent away to Koivu at center. Koivu getting it to Recchi. Took his shot. Hasek knocks that one away, and Recchi gets taken down. Spun free. Back comes Zhipnik up to Shannon. Shannon to center ice. Got it into Holzinger. It's called on the offside.
Matt Barnaby had just vacated the penalty box as Quintal is back retrieving the stick. It was stuck in the Zamboni entrance. And the faceoff coming up outside the Montreal blue line. Dominik Hasek with a great display of goaltending in the third period has a total of 39 shots. Jose Theodore 27. Theodore has not had to handle many shots here in the overtime. Was not busy in the third period. His best stop was on a breakaway by Sanderson, who's on the ice now for this faceoff.
As at center ice, Shipnick elects to send it in around to the board. Sanderson charges after it. Lead in front, and Audette couldn't connect. Now Brunet sends it up to center ice. Sanderson breaking up the rush. Brunet carries on. Knocked away from him. Sanderson trying to come back, but he dumped it on the wing. There's nobody there. Popovich flinging one right back in again. Tipped around on the board. Sanderson had it in the skates, didn't see it. Canadiens Corson got it back to the point. Brisebois, the long shot. Hasek knocks that away. Spun around on the boards again. Taken by Audette. Audette tipping one through center, but it's broken up. Sanderson can't reach it. Woolley does. Woolley slipping it up the middle to Donald Audette. Audette backhands it in as the Sabres are in the midst of a change. Theodore dribbled it into the corner to Popovic around to Brisebois. Brisebois sending up the nod out. Ward keeping it in. Here's Ward. Cleared it back. The pass went behind Verada. And Pecker got tackled in front of the net. Canadiens coming away again. In over the line is Stevenson. Stevenson trying to cut it clear beside the net. Bureau's got it. In front. Rolling off. Firing off the glass. Around on the board. Pecker starts back with Verada. Verada the pass in over the line. Cutting around the outside. Here's Verada trying to get it in front. And back into the corner again. Canadiens trying to work it out. It fired around behind the net. Verada charging after it to keep it in there and does. Taken away by Malakoff. Malakoff's pass through the middle. Shannon gets it back. Buffalo's trying to make a change. Tipped in over the line to Ward. Ward thinks his shot. Spinorama. And dumped it off into the corner. Canadiens recover. Brisebois. He got it down to Stevenson. Sending it up on the wing. It goes all the way down the ice. Hasek lets it go. And Shannon touches it. And that will be icing against Montreal.
Well, at least the linesmen are calling something. Mark Facette has pretty much put the whistle away. Now the face-off coming up back to the right of Theodore. Some great play by the Michael Pekka, Dixon Ward, Vaclav Verada line. And that created some interesting moments for the Montreal defense in the zone. But Canadians have really done a pretty good job in front of their goaltender since he replaced Thibault back in the second period. But Vaclav Verada has been very strong here again tonight as he eluded Ulanov with a neat move and pulled his way to the front of the net. Pretty good job by Malakoff, though, as Malakoff was ready for Vaclav Verada and stick checked him.
Brown losing the draw to Damphousse. Popovic goes behind the net. Can't get it out the first time. Kept in by Buffalo. Punch back in for Brown to Barnaby. Barnaby looking in front of the net. Sends it back to Shipnick. Takes his shot. Hit the goal post, I believe. It's tipped around on the boards. Kept in there by Buffalo again. Barnaby trying to fight it free. Can't do it. And it'll be scooped high in the air and rolled up into the Sabres end. Schmelik swinging it around. Too far for Shipnick, however. Kept in by Savage. Got it now to Rosinski looking in front. Rosinski still with it behind the net. Here's Rosinski spinning again. Goes back behind the goal. Trying to shovel it in front. He's got it again. Comes out in front. And it goes away to Barnaby. Barnaby coming to center. Lost control of it. Carrying on is Grosek. Grosek getting in over the line. He fakes the shot. Now he lets it go and shoots it just wide. Theodore leaving it to Popovic. Popovic sends it off the glass and down the ice. This one is coming back again.
Now, the Montreal Canadiens appear to be wearing down just a little bit here. And for the first time, you see Buffalo starting to get some skating room on the ice. For the most part, the Canadiens have controlled this game through the second period and on into the first part of this overtime. But Buffalo's starting to get some legs here with a face-off to the right of the Montreal net. The Canadiens have iced the puck 2 or 3 times in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And the Canadiens did a great job, Rashinsky, in the zone. But Buffalo also an equally good job of picking up people in front of the net. And there was nobody open. Sabres ended up with the loose puck and skated it down.
Brisebois in the corner now swings behind his goal with Ward on him. Tipped around on the boards. That'll go to center ice. Shannon. Twist away. Lost it. Gets it back again and sends it out to the red line. Now it's scooped ahead with Montreal making a change. Fed into the corner. Recchi racing after it. Shannon's on him. The 2-8s to the corner. Pekka swings it around to Verada. He felt it from behind. He's down on the ice. The shot is right on. one and is held by Hasek long enough for a face-off, and Verada is having difficulty getting to his feet after he was hit from behind.
Now, he was crunched just near the hatch marks to the right of the Buffalo net. And Verada is wondering why a penalty wasn't called, but don't worry, Vaclav, there's not going to be one, so you might as well forget it. Don't waste your breath. And Verada, trying to field the puck, was slammed into the boards hard by Saku Koivu.
You rob a bank in this game and get away scot-free.
Now Pekka will take this draw against Recchi. Now Recchi, who normally doesn't take a lot of faceoffs, has really done a terrific job. And
taken by Verada, however, and he muscles it out over the line as he gets knocked down by Koivu. Across to Brisebois. Brisebois sailing one off into the Buffalo corner. Schmelik hooks it on the boards. Got it out and down the ice. Pekka racing after it. Ward goes with him. Pass to Ward was scooped away by Recchi. Rolled into the corner. Kept around behind the net. Malakoff recovers. Sends it up on the wing to Corson. Corson wheels one through the middle, but Ward steals it away. Ward coming right back again. Ward fires one. Theodore the save. Off the boards. Picked in by Pekka. Now it deflects and goes to center ice. Montreal coming back. Pushing in over the line. Koivu took his shot. Fired it way wide. Audette scoops it up. Audette swinging it to Zhitnik. Zhitnik coming away for Buffalo into Montreal territory. Races after it himself. Zhitnik trying to hook it free. Can't do it. Bureau leaving it there. Stolen away by Buffalo. Primo tapped it around to the boards. Shatan couldn't get there. Woolley does. Woolley into Shatan in the corner. Banks it around behind the net. Bureau fires it back in the other direction. Here's Shatan after it, trying to keep it in, and does. But it goes to Bureau on the other side, and he got rid of it to center. Woolley taking it down. 6 minutes remaining in the first overtime. Shatan cannot get away. Stevenson will dump one in. It's cleared all the way around on the Thornton stick, and he drilled it in wide of the goal. Shatan after it again failed to catch up with it in time, and Thornton keeps it in there. Sending it back into Stevenson behind the net. To Thornton again. Thornton trying to work it in front. Stevenson's got the puck. Right out in front. Hasek grabs it. Rebound and jam on the line, and play is cold.
Now the Canadiens are saying the puck is in the net. But the referee, Mark Fassett, right on top of the play. Great job by Turner Stevenson and Thornton to get the forecheck going in the Buffalo zone, and then the puck came to the goal crease and the adventure began. Dominik Hasek down with his legs stretched, and the Canadiens could not will the puck into the net. But great job of forechecking, and Turner Stevenson tried to score on the wraparound. And they could not beat Dominik Hasek in a faceoff coming up here to the left of the Sabres net. Hasek with the left pad as Danfus actually tried to push the pad and puck over the goal line, couldn't do it. So Danfus to take it against Curtis Brown. And how many times when we have a delay here, the faceoffs become, of course, even more important in overtime periods, and I guarantee you that particularly the pulse of Curtis Brown is racing a little bit faster than Danfus, as this is a very important one to the left of Hasek.
The Brown wins and gets to Shannon, tapping it around behind the net. Barnaby missed it. Kept in by Popovic. Rolling it back to Rosinski. He got hooked down to the ice. And back in behind the net again. Danfus pinned there by Wilson. And it's taken away by Shannon. Shannon slips it up ahead. Brown starting to Barnaby. Barnaby into Montreal territory, leaving it for Brown. Brown took the shot. And Theodore got an arm on that. Around on the board. Barnaby spins it free into the corner, but Danfus is there to take it away. Danfus slipping it up on the wing. Rosinski coming. Getting it up ahead. Savage is in over the line. His shot deflects behind the net. Rosinski after it in the corner. Around to Danfus, looking out in front. At the side of the net. Danfus again. Hasek was there to knock it away. Popovic keeping it in. Popovic then gave it away to Brown. The pass up the middle too far. Goes all the way down the ice, and racing after it, Malakoff to get there first and create the icing.
With 4:24 remaining in this overtime period. And a face-off again in the Sabres zone. Now it seems that the Canadiens have the momentum going. Wow, this is just back and forth as far as the swings of momentum. Vinny Damphus tried to wrap around on Dominik Hasek as he moved the puck from behind the net. And Hasek, so quick though, jamming that left pad against the post, and there was nowhere for him to put it. Sabres really doing a good job though of the coverage in front of the net, and the Canadiens are not making those clear passes to the front for the one-timers.
Canadiens, Brisebois keeps it in, deals it behind the goal. Up the round on the board, but kept in by Corson, is bumped by Zhitnik. Taken away, and Ward flips it high in the air. Verada chasing after it, knocked it away from Brisebois into the corner. Verada after it again, trying to take Ulanoff out, but it's recovered now by Koivu, and he's jammed out of the play by Verada. Comes to center, Ward stepped into Corson. Looked ahead, Ulanoff knocks it down, getting it to Recchi, to the Buffalo line, dumped it in over the line, and Schmelik takes it away, but doesn't get it out. Kept in by the Canadiens. Here's Koivu trying to get in front of the net. He got mugged by Pekka, but it's kept in there by Corson. Corson after it in the corner, jammed against the wall. King to Recchi, his shot went wide. Hasek slipping it around on the board. Recchi trying to keep it in, taken away by Buffalo with a pass to center, too far for Ward. Taken right back with Brisebois. He gets away from Zhitnik, clearing him from the shot. Oh, Bonjero. Back around to the boards again and not out. Canadiens keeping it in. Taken away by Pekka, and Pekka will flip it to center. Quintel waiting for his teammates to clear the zone, to clear it back in again. Schmelik in the corner, scoops it ahead for Audette. Audette deep in his own end, turning again, fires it off a Montreal stick and down the ice. No icing. And the Sabres will do some changing. 3 minutes remaining in overtime, the first overtime. Woolley at center ice, guiding it over to Bugner, up to Audette. In over the line is Holzinger. He couldn't control it. Sent across to Woolley again. Holzinger trying to clear the zone. Woolley flipping it right back in. Theodore dropping it there for Quintal. Quintal off the boards and by Woolley down the ice. Hasek will handle as Montreal makes a change. Tipped up to Woolley for Sanderson. Tried to get it to Holzinger. Sanderson charges after it again to Holzinger. Holzinger into the corner. Shanahan racing in there. Shanahan took out his check, but it comes to center. Buffalo changing. Savage coming back. Here's Savage. The shot. Hasek kicked it away. And it's jammed out to the neutral area again. Quintal recovers. Quintal to Rosinski. Rosinski fires it up on the wing. Damphus tracks it down. Here's Damphus. Got it back in front to Rosinski. Shovels it in behind the net. Brown tried to come up with a puck. Brown guides it into the corner, but Popovic moves up on the play. Dribbles around to Rosinski again. Rosinski turning in the corner around from Brown. Got it behind the net. Damphus flips it back to Rosinski. He gets knocked down by Brown. Canadiens got it in front. Savage the shot. That deflects away. Wilson can't catch up with it. Put back in front of the net again. And it's recovered by Buffalo. Pass on the wing to Sanderson. Left it to Shanahan and over the line. Back for Sanderson. The shot. And he gunned it off the glass. Tipped into the corner with 1.5 minutes remaining in the first overtime. Out at center. Zhitnik catching up with it. Looked it back in the other direction. Brown lost it in turn to Brisebois. Kicked in over the Buffalo line. Now sent away to center ice. Grosek coming back with Barnaby. Grosek in over the line to Barnaby. The pass went behind him. Kept off the boards to the blue line. Over Grosek's stick through center ice. Zhitnik collecting it again and firing it to Brown with 1 minute to go in the first overtime period. Brown after it again. Swings one off into the Canadiens' corner. Buffalo making a change. Here's Corson feeding it up to Recchi and over the line. Recchi trying to get his shot away. Backhand. Hasek knocks it away to Pekka. Pekka swings a long pass up ahead to Barnaby. He's grabbed and mugged by Ulanoff, and Barnaby and Ulanoff are nose to nose. This is a joke. Meanwhile, Bugner and Corson did everything expected. This is absolutely incredible. Mark Fawcett has just decided, I don't care what you guys do, I am not calling a penalty.
Well, Matt Barnaby could have had a penalty too because he caught the puck in the neutral zone and carried it like a halfback into the Montreal into the rink. Pekka just lofted the puck high in the air. Barnaby caught it, and Ulanoff just grabbed him around the neck and pulled him to the ice.
Of course, the players know they're going to get away with all this now. I mean, they've had a better part of 2 periods to figure that out.
Now the face-off will be back inside the Buffalo zone. There's a 2-line pass to Barnaby, while all that was going on, we had 2 or 3 things happening at once.
We're 43.4 seconds away from going to a second overtime.
Mark Bureau will take this draw against Michael Pekka. It's Bureau, Stevenson, and Thornton. Very effective line tonight for Montreal.
Pekka trying to swing it out of there. Can't do it. It's picked in by the Canadiens. Breeze ball right in front. The shot deflected. Chopped away. Breeze ball. Another shot. That one went wide. Verona racing after it. Can't get it out. But now it'll be fed up ahead to Ward. Couldn't get it back to Verona. And Malakoff, a long shot off the glass in the corner. Tipped. And icing called against Montreal, and boy, oh boy, I don't know that the Canadiens want that to happen with 22 seconds remaining on the clock in the face-off in their end.
Now off a face-off, a couple of steps inside the Buffalo blue line, the Canadiens ended up with 2 or 3 scoring chances. Dominik Hasek out of position, and they couldn't get the puck on the net. And Ulanov had the great chance, and it puck may have been deflected by Bob Boughner, and then Montreal had a couple of others and could not hit the net with the shots. And then Malakoff, for some reason, just shoots the puck hard down the ice. It's icing, and a face-off to the left of the Montreal goaltender. Pekka to take it against Domfus. With 22.4 seconds to go in this overtime period, tied 4-4.
Spun back into the corner. Verona couldn't get away from Malakoff, who promptly speared him and sent away to center ice. Brought in over the line with Corson looking in front. Corson dished it in front and went right across ice to Rosinski. He fired one that goes around on the other side. Kept in by Brisebois. Corson trying to knock it down. That'll roll to the corner. Corson after it again, bumping with Pekka. Went around behind the net, and another overtime looms.
Well, all kinds of excitement, as I mentioned earlier. Neither team laying back and playing a defensive style of game. Both clubs going for it, but nothing happened in the first overtime period here in Montreal.
I can tell you that the Canadiens outshot the Sabres in the first OT 10-3. However, as we get ready for a second overtime period, we are still even at 4.